That's why everyone was like not that excited to be here. Hi, how you going? Excited to be here now? Is everyone excited to be here now that you can hear me as well? That's better. Excellent. Let me know if it's too loud. Let me know what the balance is like. Let me know if you need to make any adjustments or anything. How are we liking the live chat is supposed to be up here. It's not. I don't know why. I'm going to try and fix that as we go through the night, but I didn't want to delay anymore because I was planning on being live 15 minutes ago. Spent the last 20 minutes knocking around with that thing trying to get it to work. Figured, let's go live and we'll have a chat. I sound amazing. Thank you, Tom. You're a darling. Do you know what? Oh, down the gain a touch. Okay. I'm trying to remember which way's down. Let me know if that's down. Let me know if that's down. If that's not down, if that's up, let me know and I'll turn it the other way. I'll wait for your feedback on that before I make any other adjustments though. Clipping slightly when you're excited. That's better. Yeah, that will be because of all of the movement and whatnot, because the internet's a little bit slow here this evening. I have closed everything else down now, so I am hoping that it is going to be a-okay. Here we go. Close, quit. No, don't quit that. Oh God, I need that open. Here we go. Here we go. So I am listening at the moment. Thank you so much, Tom. Appreciate your help. So right now I am listening to the ABC breakdown. I'm just going to turn it down on my end a little bit. The ABC is running in the background, so I know when they start bringing in the election results, we can flick over and have a look at them. But I wanted to have a little bit of a chat first of all and chat to you guys about some of the different things that we remember from the campaign, some of the different election promises that were made, some of the different things that happened. I wanted to have a little bit of a, you meant the audio is clipping, but it's better now. Okay, excellent. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I did put in a bit of effort tonight so that I could come out and, I forgot my earring. I was messing with the headphones and I had to take the earring off. And I forgot to put it back on again. That is so clever of me, isn't it, really? Yeah, what do you guys remember? What are some of the things that you want to talk about? I've got a few of the ones written down here that I wanted to have a chat about. So one of the one was obviously one of the big ones that happened earlier on in the campaign. This is, I shouldn't say obviously like that. It's not obvious at fucking all. But earlier on in the campaign, actually the day before I think the election campaign actually began, Peter Dutton actually in Parliament said that he was pro-taxing gas. So I want to see, if that holds up after the election. Once this is all said and done, I want to see if he is still saying that, if he's still happy to be pro-changing that. But we'll see. Anyway. That was one of the things I wanted to talk about. One of the other things I wanted to say, by the way, actually, I should also be streaming this on TikTok so that TikTok knows that I'm live because I told them I would. Whoops. So live, here we go. What are we calling it? Election projections and results. Okay. And results. Excellent. Go live. Oh, no, effects. I want to turn that off. I want to make sure that effect isn't on there this time. That was annoying, wasn't it? All right, we're going to go live. Hey, what? Yeah. I literally couldn't care less. All right, there we go. So now everyone's going to know. Everyone will know. How will they know? They're going to know. Feel free to keep commenting and let me know if there's anything that you remember, particularly from the campaign. Oh, I just nearly strangled myself then with my headphone. I'm going to try and get a team in here. I haven't seen Dom in ages. Does anyone know what happened to Dom? I got cancer and stopped coming online, and then all these people stopped coming around. I wonder why. Is everyone getting dizzy? I just want to ask if on TikTok everybody's getting dizzy right now. There we go. Yeah. Yeah. Whoop. What? Coming where? All right. So some of the other things. Okay, actually, whoops. I am going to let's jump over and have a look
They also needed
because
to run a God Almighty scare
they're talking
campaign
about
against
cost of
Peter
living.
Dutton and framing, and that's what we've seen.
We'll come back to that, but just to cut to the chase here, will you acknowledge that the campaign, the
Mac and
coalition ran
cheese,
was not a
please.
good
I did tell you
campaign?
this was
No,
happening.
I actually won't acknowledge that.
Do you want to put down the blinds for me?
Spent the last 3
Matt.
decades of my life working on campaigns, winning ones and losing
Cheese.
ones. And what I've learned
And the one
is
over there.
to never judge a campaign.
All right, we're just
until
going to put the sound
after
on
results
of
come in,
this.
That's to begin with.
That's fair.
But also, secondly, there are many aspects of
But this is the sort of campaign you would say is a James McGrath tick good campaign.
I think what the state directors, I think what Andrew Hurst and Lincoln Fowler have done, I think what Peter Dutton and his office have done, considering the avalanche of people against us, whether it is the Labor Party and the unions on one side, whether it is Climate 200 and the Teals on the other side. The fact
did
that we
warn
have
the
been
kids this was happening
competitive
tonight,
in
but it
this
doesn't matter how much
campaign
warning you give them, we're
is
still
a minor
not.
miracle in a way. And the fact that people talking about us having the ability to beat Labor, whether 6 months ago or 3 months ago, considering Australians don't like throwing out a government after 3 years.
We'll see if they do. We've got some votes being counted right now. You can see the
All right,
process.
first results
in
are coming
action.
in,
It's
so let's have a
the
chat
home
about
state of
this.
both of our guests tonight
First
there in
results are
Indra
coming in.
Queensland. Some of the vote counting that's already begun. There it is.
Yeah.
Oh,
And a
here we
shout out from Andy Lauria
go.
for
Here
those
we go. We
wonderful
can see the
AEC
scrutineers
workers
in here.
who are doing their
It's
thing
getting going.
right
If you
now.
guys want to
It's a
see
busy,
what I'm
busy
looking at
day.
as
Does
well,
bring
we're
up the
over
wonderful
on the other
comparison
place.
with
Follow the
everything
link.
that we saw in the United States. Of course, if this was in the United States, you swing the camera to the right and you'll have a lot of very
All the
angry
fun's
people
happening
with
in other places.
placards and shouting
Just to let you
and,
know.
and probably security. So once again, let's just celebrate that beautiful Australian thing.
Make sure to
True,
tap
and,
that
Australia
screen.
invented the idea of having a permanent independent election authority. The idea of a guy called William Boothby, after whom a federal electorate is now named in South Australia. And that is
There you
why we
go.
have such a calm and orderly approach, unlike in the UN.
This is very,
in the
very
US,
cool,
where
actually, to know.
state governors are responsible for.
So I'm just going to mute that for a second while I switch over to the other. We got the sharing this tab as well. Now, at the moment, it's showing literally nothing's been counted. I just want to be really clear about that. Nothing's been counted, but we're already showing a swing. First figures are coming in. Hello, hello. We are elsewhere if you guys want to actually see Anthony Green doing his magic at the same time. Thank you, Antonio. Appreciate you. Appreciate your help. If you want to help out next time around, feel free to reach out. We are going to be having a grand old time. 0 votes, apparently. 0 votes. Give it a second. Gonna go vote now, Conflict Avoider. Wow, you better hurry. Are you going to be live all night? I'm going to be live until the result, pretty much until, well, I'm going to be alive for a few hours. We'll see how we go. We'll see how quickly the energy fades and how quickly I pass out. But my parents voted Liberal. Oh, that's very sad. Oh, well, next time. Here we go. What's going on? We got election results coming in. So let's have a look at these results. I'm just going to refresh this page quickly. Nah, nothing in yet. It's saying that there's a 52% that we got to swing towards Labor, but it's also saying that nothing's come in yet. Here we go. They're talking about, thank you so much. So they're talking about how hard it is to get independents and Greens off once they're in there. All right, Conflict Avoider. Well, feel free to put me in the number 1 position. So excited to see you voting. Feel free to vote for me number 1, Tamara. You'll find me in the J column on your ballot paper for the Senate. And yeah, would appreciate your vote. Let me know how you go. If I get elected, I'll make sure I thank you. Thanks. I'm trying to see. I think that one's a bit better. There we go. Election result discussion. Did you vote for your own party? Of course. I put in a little number 1 next to myself. I didn't have a candidate from my party running in the lower house, so I actually the person who was furthest to the left I had was the Greens, and then after that was Labor. So, not the best, not the best. But anyway, guys, we have got some results coming in. Hello. Good to see you all tonight. Pop in the comments and let me know where you are. Let me know what electorate you're in. And we
Story
will
is,
jump over and look at your
there is a
electorates first. How's that?
declining
Since you're joining us
stock
nice
of
and
electorates in
early,
this country that
thank
either
you,
party can take
Winged
for
Tiger, for
granted
throwing
and
yourself
they
into
can
the
just
void.
shove someone into. And
No,
that's
no
what
one's
we
giving me a
are learning,
call.
and we might see some more
Indi,
quickly
all right, I'm going
on
to
the
put down
point of
Indi.
how
This
difficult
is
it
our
to
list
shift
of
independence.
places we're
Someone
going to
correct me
check
if I'm
on
wrong,
because
but
we've
I
got
don't
all
know
of
if an
our
independent,
people here in
once
the
they've won a
comments.
seat,
Throw
I'm sure
out
plenty
the
have
comments where
pulled
else,
out not
where are you calling
recontested.
from, and
But
I'm
as
going to make
an
sure that we
independent
keep
who's won a
checking
seat, been beaten
checking on
by
your
a major
electorates as we
party?
go through the night.
Not for a very long
No, I
time.
don't think so.
Deacon.
I'm not sure if it's...
70, 80 years
Yeah,
on a
okay.
business.
Anyway.
I think, Anthony.
Here we go, Deacon. Sorry, they keep flipping back and forth to Anthony Green, and I keep trying to check and see if they're actually got him up there yet, but no. Deacon. Okay, Anthony Green's popped up. Let's have a look.
It's always the network problems, aren't it? Once upon a time, everything was plugged into each other. Now everything is on the sort of communications network. All right, let's have a
complaining
look
about
at-
technology.
This is
Excellent.
Fowler. These are these first figures for Fowler. They're from the Haymarket pre-poll, as I said. 2 Lee ahead. Di Lee is the independent sitting member. Labor's the new Labor candidate, and the Greens and the Liberals. But this is not a very representative. I mean, Haymarket is in the middle of the Chinatown of Sydney.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean it's necessarily
Yeah, so
representative. of
Fowler, New South
The other
Wales
seat I've
is
got,
looking like
and
it's
this one
going left.
definitely isn't
Excellent.
representative. This is Norfolk Island in the electorate of Bean. Norfolk Island for the last 2 or 3 elections has been part of an Australian electorate for the first time. And at this stage,
Bean,
David Smith
Norfolk,
is ahead, though,
Calwell. We've got
interestingly, we'll
someone
see
from
how it goes on the
Calwell here.
mainland.
All
But
right, we're gonna put
Jesse
Calwell
Smith is an
down.
independent on 29.3,
So again, if you're
the
over
Greens
here
on
in the
16,
chat,
and the Labor, the Liberal
and
Party on
you're-
15. Now, as I said,
hello.
this is
No worries. I am
several thousand miles away
glad
from the
that I was able to
ACT. It
help
just
Swan.
happens to
We are going to be
be
checking it
for
on Swan. If you
electoral
do
reasons,
want
it's
to,
part
I
of
will
Bean,
take that one
but
from
that's
TikTok, but I'm
Norfolk
going to
Island's
clarify.
result.
I'm only really going to be
Anthony,
taking
thank
suggestions
you.
and
I
stuff
wanna
from
go
this
to
chat
Richard
tonight.
Marles,
So if
the
you
Deputy
want to be
Prime
a part of
Minister,
the
joining us
conversation,
now,
come
Minister
on
for
where the
Defence.
stuff's happening.
He's in his Victorian seat of Corio there in beautiful
Calwell.
Geelong. Richard Marles, a very good evening to you. What can we expect in that neck of the woods and in Victoria more broadly, do you think, tonight?
Well, David, nice to talk to you. We always fondly
else
remember
have we
that
got? And we
your
got Swan.
media career started here at K-Rock, and that's the
did.
newsroom, which very much remembers
Big
you.
shout out to the K-Rock.
so,
Ones that are in WA, we're going to go down the bottom of the list because
well,
it's going to be a while
actually, I
before
met
we
one of
even
the new
start
journalists
counting.
there,
Oh,
and
Happy,
I
thank you
said to
so
that
much.
person that
Appreciate
David
you.
Spears
I
began
appreciate
his
so much. If
career
you
in
and
this room,
6,000
and
of your
so,
friends also
great things
did,
can happen.
I
So
might
enough
have a
about
chance
me.
of getting in
But,
tonight.
look,
It
we-
sounds like I did
okay,
get a few
we
votes
can
though,
do more
so
about you,
I'm not
but,
too embarrassed, but we'll
look,
see how
we
we go.
feel, in terms of Geelong,
We'll see.
that,
Oxley here.
It's,
Oxley,
that it's gone
excellent.
well.
Oxley?
We approach this evening with a sense of optimism
Oxley,
about
sorry, I know you can see
Crow,
my
obviously,
big
but
golden hair.
about Corangamite. I'm mindful
Make
that
sure you tap
with
like
all
on the
these
screen over there on
things,
TikTok
you
to
never
let people know
what
that
is
we're
gonna happen
live.
really at the end of the day. But the campaign that we've executed here, and I'm thinking particularly in terms of Corangamite, has gone really
I'm going
well.
to
Libby
just
has been
switch.
very much out
Here we
there.
go. Here we go. We're going to switch to this tab for a bit just because he was ribbiting on a little bit for us. So we're just going to have a quick look now at the results here. We're going to click on the live results and we're going to have a little look-see. Yeah, this is sort of our map as we go through as well. You guys can see that there. So this is where I'll be able to actually pop in those where you've said to me. I'll be able to just pop it in and pull it up. And it will give us an idea of what's happening. So this is why I'm saying to you, let me know, because we will be interacting with this map a lot tonight. I'm going to be having Can't hear me? Why can't you hear me? Oh, is that because that device doesn't work? Or is it because the sound's not working over here? Is the sound not working? Please tell me I haven't muted myself and not realised. Oh my gosh. Okay. Any other electorates over here, guys? Anyone? Okay. Might be an issue on Lily's end, or hopefully not. Any other electorates you guys want me to keep an eye on as we go through the evening? Any other? Excellent. Hey, thank you so much, Nathan. I hope that you are also okay. And if you would like to jump over into the other place and let us know where you are so we can track your election results, and we'll let you know what's happening. And we're going to track the results as they come in, and we're going to do a bit of an election breakdown, and we're going to have a bit of an election party as well. We're going to get a few people from around the country who've been campaigning. They're going to be jumping on with us as well to talk about the campaign and what happened, and the experiences and things that they had, and, you know, what the results are and what their hopes are and things like that as well. So Mayo, tangy, excellent, thank you. Oh no, it's because of where I am. Okay, no, all right. I was panicking then. I was like, no, we must help Lily. Okay, tangy. Excellent. Mayo. All right, polls have now closed in South Australia and the Northern Territory. So we're about to start getting results in from them. That has just happened. New update. So we've got Tangy, Mayo, Swan, Oxley, Calwell, Deakin, Indi. Is it Indi? Either or. Excellent. What else, guy? And also, I want to talk about as well what issues and things. So I was talking election memories earlier. So I was talking about what were some of the latest key events that had happened. Okay, so even the coalition are now saying in the latest update that they don't think they've done enough to create a coherent campaign. So they don't even think that their campaign was coherent, which is good because I didn't either. All right.
All of those things left a lot of bad taste for a lot of shadow ministers because they were finding
We're just
out
jumping
that their
over
policies were
onto,
being announced, policies in their portfolios were being announced that they were seeing
It
for
is
the first
Juzzy.
time
It's
effectively,
Monday
or,
on.
you know, only a
It's
few days
exactly. It's
beforehand.
Monday on Saturday.
And
Make sure
I
you
think,
guys
you know, some policies
keep
also,
commenting, keep
which
letting me know where you are. What other
people,
areas
you know,
should I
really,
check up on the election?
absolutely dyed in the wool.
What issues are
coalition,
important to you?
Operatives, supporters were sort of looking at these announcements and say, do we really actually believe in this? Is this what we stand for? So I think it's left a real
It's Monday on
question
Saturday.
mark about how all of those parts of the campaign have operated in toto, and the fact that we've seen those policy backflips.
The policy
and sort of
backflips. That's what I
changes
want
of
to talk
direction.
about.
I think all of that points to the fact that the campaign is certainly not the greatest that the coalition has ever run. Certainly not of the John Howard scale, James.
No, absolutely not at
Well,
the
I
John
don't know, do you
Howard
wanna-
scale. So that is something that I wanted to talk about was the backflipping on different policies and things that we had for this election. So if people don't remember, I just want to talk about things like, for example, the Liberal work from home policy. Obviously, that was a big one that a lot of us are going to remember. But they also just had nothing for women. They kept commenting and explaining how, well, women would also be able to access their super to buy housing. Would also be, and it was like, yeah, but there are all these other policies that you've mentioned that specifically will help men. And now you're saying that we're going to remove working from home. So, like, talk to us. But one thing he did say is that he was pro gas tax. So I did like that. I did like that idea. So what other electorates are we in? Where else would we like to look at? Here we go. Which other? Only now they realise. Yeah. So so we're over on the other places. If you guys wanted to join us, so we can have a chat. This is where we're going to be for most of the evening, unfortunately. But yeah, let me know what other electorates should I check out. Where else did you guys vote? What other electorates would you like me to keep an eye on? Where else do we have hopes about changes? And what other issues do you want to talk about? Dunkley. Now, I know you and Bella are also in the same room, but could you do me a favour and like have me on at least 2 devices? That would be great. I'm really trying to push the numbers out there for this one because I went to a lot of effort to get all of this set up. Oh, you aren't? Okay. That's all right. Canning. Scullen. Antonio, come over here. Oh, you're in Fed Square. Oh, that's why you can't hear. Yes, I did have Deacon is here. So far the ones we've got are Indi, Deacon, Colwell, Swan, Cowell, Swan, Oxley, Tangy, Mayo, Dunkley. You're in public watching. Fair enough. We'll allow it. Hello, you voted for me today. Thank you so much. Canning, I'm going to put Canning down. Thank you for voting for me. I appreciate it. In the next election, maybe consider coming and helping out on the campaign. If you would like to message me, my messages are open. I would absolutely love if you want to join up. I'll send you the info on how to do so, because next time I'm running to win. Next time I'm running to fucking win. So I also put me first. Oh, thank you. Oh, you guys are so great. Thank you so much. It must be annoying to count all of those votes. It will. And just so you know, we won't have any idea if I even get close to getting in tonight, though I would say I won't. So just to be very, very clear about that. But also, next time is the time that we'll be running to win. So just keep that in mind. Yeah. Deacon seemed really, really problematic with the 8 choices. Yeah, O'Connor was the same. O'Connor was a really, really problematic one with really problematic choices. I think the best hope for O'Connor, besides the Greens, was the Nationals candidate. The best hope for O'Connor, besides the Greens, the next most left-wing party, was the Nationals. Everyone after that was, was Labor. After the Greens and Labor, I should say, if you go Greens, Labor, Nationals, then the rest. Then it was the other 5 candidates, all more right wing than the Liberal Party, which, you know. But yes, feel free. Let me know where else we should check from as well. A guy from the Chase is the same thing. I thought Lib, Labor, Greens, and then the Nazi parties. Yep. All right, we're going to jump over to ABC and watch some ABC coverage for a little bit.
I was not expecting, and this
and
is
see
a
what
Climate
happens.
200 situation, is the seat of Bean
Yes.
in Canberra.
So you told me this just before the broadcast.
Yeah.
And I go, what? This is, Canberra is, as everyone would know, pretty solid Labor territory.
Mm-hmm.
What's happening in Dean?
There's an independent candidate there who is a former midwife.
This is Jessie Price.
Her name is
This
Jessie
is
Price,
the island.
And, look, I don't think it's a seat that's been on the radar
No, it hasn't.
very much.
I would add in
is it-
McPherson
yes.
as well, which is in up on the
What
in
am I
Queensland
looking
there. Karen Andrews is
Gosh,
going.
sorry.
And this is the northern part of the Gold Coast, isn't it?
Southern.
Sorry, southern
TikTok
part of the
didn't
Water
alert you. That
Territory,
is filthy.
And again, you've got a
That is filthy.
a
So
Climate 200
one of the
backed,
islands has a
ultramarathon
candidate
runner.
Why are
running,
they all so fit?
Why are they all so fit?
which was interesting.
Jim Chalmers.
But it just back to that, the seat in the ACT. Is this Pocock effect? What is this in the ACT?
Well, it could be.
The Pocock effect, they're
there's
calling
not
it.
Really
All
that
the
much
independents
more
running, they're
for
calling it the
Liberal
Pocock
Party
effect.
to lose in
Gosh.
the ACT, which
All
may
right.
explain the
Now, I'm just going to move back over to the analysis page because I think we've got some
message
analysis
in the
coming
campaign.
in.
There's
Sorry.
not
Another thing we'll be coming back to.
I'm looking forward to it.
Yes.
I'll write it down.
You'll be too terrified to go out for dinner anywhere in Canberra. But this could be an interesting one.
Yes.
And
Sorry, I'm
I
just going to
don't
scoot
know,
back to this page. There we go. Nothing's here. Here we go. Nope. So Victoria State Labor brand will not hurt the federal Labor's chances. Fair enough. Though I will say there are some federal in Western Australia. I do think that it is a little bit... That's what annoys me, is when you do that and then you go NT. No, not NT. You go NSW and you see how many seats they have in New South Wales versus how many we have in Western Australia. And I know that's a population thing, but it's just irritating because I feel like we need more representation than that. But anyway. So the first results are in from Norfolk Island. Excellent. 0.1% of the vote is counted. Excellent. So let's see. What does it say? So it's looking like it's going to the independent Jessie Price in Norfolk Island, which was previously held by Labor Party David Smith. Now, Bean does all like Norfolk Island is just 0.1% of the Bean electorate, and they're not like that's the only place that's been counted at the moment. So this is probably not going to hold. But being the independent and having that come up at the first vote count, that must feel really good. That must feel really good. You know what I mean? All right. Sorry, guys. Hi, Miles. Hey, good to see you. Sorry, I got distracted. I started flicking around. Yeah, a guy from the Chaser said the same thing. I thought Lib, Labour, Greens, and the Nazis Party. Yeah, that's right. We're talking about that. Hello. So, Miles, let me know if that link isn't working. We've had all 1,200 of them. Yeah. So, thank you so much, I appreciate you guys. So don't forget, guys, over here, we are Pocock, hell of a rugby player, it's a sports stuffy. Feel free to pop over to the other place if you wanted to have a chat with us, talk to us about what is going on. And yeah, wanted to let us know what your electorate was that you wanted to check out. So 9 of us in Bennelong for the North Sydney after party. Amazing. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. Can't wait to see you guys. Let me know when everyone wants to jump on. No, the purple one or the red one. Sarah, the purple one or the red one? Not the sunset one. The red play button or the purple one that I think is just its name. All right. So if you guys want to jump on now, let me know, Miles. I have got a few different bits and pieces set up. Oh, your vote won't be there till next week. Yeah. And this is the thing too. If you voted below the line, which I encourage people to do constantly, then your vote's not going to be counted tonight either. Which means that if you voted for me, unless you voted Fusion like one above the line in the Senate, if you voted for me specifically below the line, then your vote's not going to get counted tonight either. So just bear that in mind. And yeah, so there's no flipping chance I'm getting elected tonight, ever, at all. Next election, however, I will be. So everyone keep your eyes out. Be careful. We're coming. We're coming for you. All right. So which other electorates do you want me to keep an eye on, guys? I'll let you know the ones that we've got so far. So which electorates shall we keeping an eye on tonight? We've got Indi. Oh, no. All right. Pop it on the table and make so. Right? Yep. Yeah. Pop it on the table and we'll see what we can do. All right. So we've got Indi, Deakin, Calwell, Swan, Oxley, Tangy, Mayo, Dunkley, Canning. Any other electorates? They don't count below the line tonight. No. They don't. They don't tend to count below the line tonight. They do in the sense that, like, they do, but it's a very convoluted process. So, yeah, that's why I'm just saying, because I'm number 2 on the ballot, if you voted for me number 1 specifically below the line, and that's how, the only way that I'd be elected is if 10,000 people decided to do that. We're not going to find out those results tonight. Unless 20,000 people put Fusion number 1 in WA, then both Tiana and I will be in the Senate and we'll find out tonight. And it'll probably make the news. Anyway. Chisholm, controversy of 3 electorates ago. Gerrymandering. Yeah. So Chisholm, do we want to put Chisholm on the list for tonight? I'm comparing both tonight. All right. I have to be honest. There's a guy right now I'm looking at who his beard's crooked, but the only reason I noticed his beard was crooked was because his glasses were crooked. And I don't know if he's shaved his beard crooked because he's knocked his glasses askew, and so he's tried to even his beard up by also shaving, he's tried to make it look even by shaving his beard crooked to make it look like his glasses are even. You know what I mean? I don't know what came first. Anyway, don't know. I'm having a hard time with that. It's a very weird look. Hi. So what electorates? What electorates are we in? Deakin. Well, we've got Deakin on the list. We do have Deakin on the list. They've counted 0.1% of the vote. Might be a bit early to call it. Yeah, absolutely. That is absolutely correct. It's a bit early to call anything right now. Definitely no calling anything right now. Any other electorates? His chin came first. Yeah. Lynn, please. Excellent, Sarah. Make sure you hit that follow button so you don't lose us again. Make sure you don't hit that. And we will be checking out on Lynn as well throughout the night. Now, whoops. Oh, I can't hear you. I don't know if it's my phone or the video. It's probably the video. Let's have a look. All right. So we've got both of these pages up at the moment. You've got Dixon. Oh, should we put Dixon on the sheet? Should we put Dixon on the sheet to check, guys? Let me know what you reckon. Bowman, it's basically a shoe-in for the Libs. Oh, it might not be Tian. Hey, Tian's here, so I'm going to add Tian to the stage. Actually, give me a thumbs up if you're happy to jump on now, Tian, before... Yep, all right. So I'm going to add Tian in. So we'll have a quick chat with Tian and see how things are going out on the campaign trail. We do have an hour before the polls close in WA. How you going, Tian?
Well, my feet are sore. It's not that busy. A lot of people voted early. I think like 25%. So it's been a steady but quiet stream of people. A few people taking flyers. A lot of people not taking flyers too. They've already made up their minds. So, but a lot of people are just deciding today who they're going to vote for. So they're taking all the flyers and making their mind up.
I can't hear you at all, Tian. I'm really sorry. I don't know.
Just lost your sound.
Hello? Like, there's a lot of background noise where you are. I think it's really hard to hear. You said it was very quiet. Tian?
You hear me?
Hello? Yeah, I can hear. It's just there's a lot of background noise. You can't hear me? Are you talking? I don't think Tian's talking. Hi, Tian. Can you not hear me?
Can't hear you.
Oh, I can hear you now. Now I can hear you, but you can't hear me.
Right.
Today.
You can hear me.
Great.
Keep handing out flyers for another hour or so.
Yeah. Oh, you've lost sound, Tian. No worries. Good job. Thank you so much. Good. Legend. Keep going. We'll see you soon for the after party. All right. See you, Tian. All right. This is not supposed to do that. So I'm going to figure, all voted. Thanks, Conflict Avoider. Appreciate it. If you want to help out next to the next campaign and help us run, feel free. Let me know if you're at all interested. Now, I'm going to refresh our pages and see what updates we've got. We got nothing. We're going over to The Guardian. We'll do a refresh over there. So here's what they are showing at the moment based on the votes counted. Yeah, it's obviously very, very early. It's too early to say anything. Literally too early to say anything about anything. All right. All right, let's go over to...
putting a
Anthony.
great store in individual seats at the moment.
Here we go.
One Nation are doing well. The Greens are on 12%. The Trumpeter Patriots on 3.2. Others are 11.
Ew.
Just to look at the change in vote. And I have to say, I mean, people shouldn't take this too literally at this stage. This is just to show that the figures are there, and we're showing a 1.8% swing. But again, this is
Oh my gosh,
0.3%.
I love how the
I'm just
Trumpeter
showing
Patriots is
these
basically a
to
brand new
demonstrate that
political
the numbers
party.
are coming in.
It's
you
literally
you need to
a
get to
brand
about 5%
new
before some of these figures settle down.
Thank you
political
very
party,
much. I
and it's
think-
already
I just want
shown
to
like
bring
they've
in
got
Tony
results.
Barry for a minute here. Tony,
Anyway.
hello over there. We've had two views here. We've had James McGrath, we've had James Patterson talking about some of the qualities of the campaign. You've been polling marginal seats during the campaign.
So Bowman and Dixon.
What
were
did that
putting in
tell
there.
you about the way the campaign was going for the coalition, first of all?
What we did observe over the 6 tracks of the campaign in 20 key
They're going
seats,
on there for us to track
they're
as
all
well.
Labor Liberal contests.
Yes, Labor is ahead on the national
14 Labor
vote.
seats and 6 Liberal seats. What we did see was a consistent and steady decline in the Liberal primary vote. About a third of it went to Labor, 2/3 of it went to minor right-wing parties. But
So I'm just going to move over to this one for a second. So I just want to say, just for the sake of TikTok, I'm just going to let you know that the results that we are looking at the moment. So there are some numbers here that are showing a swing to the coalition based on Guardian's early polling, early voting. They're showing a swing to the coalition. However, if you look at the ABC results, they're showing the exact opposite. They're showing the swing going the other way. Now, I'm just going to let you know that if Anthony Green is saying it, I'm going with him. I would never, ever argue. H, you can fuck off. Thanks. Bye. I would never argue with Anthony Green. So even though this is what the Guardian is showing right now, I'm just going to say oh my gosh. Okay, so I just want to say the Liberal Party have basically just come straight. Dom! Oh my God! Hi! Yes, some kind of election, something like that. I just want to come out and say that the Liberal Party have said that about 70% of the votes from One Nation flow to them. Now, I'm sorry, if that is not just a like a huge indictment of the party, that is just, it's all ridiculous. Absolutely. We live in ignorance. Yeah. Dom, what's your electorate? We're taking down notes on electorates, what electorates we're going to be covering tonight, keeping an eye on as we go through. So we've got Indi, Deakin, Colwell, Swan, Oxley, Tangy, Mayo, Dunkley, Canning, Lynn, Bowman, Dixon. Any others? It has been a while, Dom. It's been a very, very long while. I ran in an election and I got cancer. Not in that order. Not in that order. All right. So I want to have a quick look at all party totals. Okay. I just want to call down here and have a look at all party totals. Others, look at that. There has been a plus 3% increase. Okay. Okay, guys, I'm sorry, but that result tells me that Geordie is getting elected. That result tells me that Geordie is getting elected. When you are showing me that there has been a 3% swing towards others, absolutely. I also want to know how Trumpeter Patriots, like why do the right-wing parties get to be on the short list? That doesn't seem fair to me. My prediction is that we're going to have a minority government. Lydia sends her love and is proud to be Frank. Oh, thank you so much. Oh, I love her so much. I love Lydia so much. I'm going to run at the next election. I'm so excited to run at the next election. I know that she's not going to be running again, so I'm very sad. But yeah, I will hopefully be running at that election. All right. So we are going to be having some guests joining us in a second. We got a bit of a party happening. So are you guys ready to join on stage, are you? Thumbs up. Or maybe not. Maybe not yet. Can't see yet if they're ready to jump on screen yet, so we'll wait. We'll just give them a minute. Oh, hang on. I'll wait for them to chat. I'll private chat. How's that? All right. So we are getting some serious results in now. This is, well, I mean, I shouldn't say serious results, but we're getting some results in. Point Cook. All right, we're going to have a look at Point Cook as well. Yeah, I'm saying let me know where we should be having a look at tonight as we go through. We're going to be talking about different electorates. We're going to be talking about different results and things. I'm loving seeing this huge swing towards independence. All right, these guys are ready. I think these guys are ready to join us. I'll wait for them to chat me before I decide that. Just send me, or I'll just say. All right. Excellent. So, some results anyway. So that is really, really interesting. Like seeing a 3%, well, it's actually a 5, it's like 5% of swing, 15% of the vote going towards others. That is a really encouraging. That is really, really, really encouraging. I am so excited to see that. Gosh almighty. Now, as I said, they are showing a swing towards Labor as well, which is good. Like let's be honest, we don't want it. WA hasn't even started counting because we're still not closed yet. Why would I even bother looking? I don't know why I would click on that. I don't think I meant to. Here we go. A swing towards the others in Victoria, 7%. Yeah, that is the Geordie effect. That is absolutely the Geordie effect. That is phenomenal. That is phenomenal. It is definitely the Geordie effect. Queensland has got a 9 as having a swing towards independence and others as well. That is amazing. That is amazing. Here we go. Now I'm going to go all parties so I can scroll down. We can try like this, but sound may be bad. Okay. You've got a narrow pickup mic. No worries. We'll give that a go. Please win. Yeah, absolutely. Sarah, we're getting results from both The Guardian and from ABC News. So we're switching between the two. So we're getting a bit of a different result from both, but we're switching between the two so we can stay balanced with it. All right. You were handing out how to vote cards for Vic Socialists. Fantastic. Next time, feel free to hand out how to vote cards for us too. But yes, Piggers will be a Senate member for sure. Seeing a 9% swing towards others in Queensland, in Victoria, says to me that he has got what he needs, got the votes that he needs to get in, hopefully. Just voted for the first time today. Congratulations. All right, we're going to do a little bit of switch to another little platform, a little stage. All right, and we're going to add these guys to the stage. Hey!
Hello.
How are you going?
Whoa. Whoa, okay. How's the audio? Because we're at the pub, there's a lot of us here, and the drinks are already going.
The audio is not the worst. Let's just put that there. It's not terrible.
Okay.
It's as bad as it
Because
could
we have the option of going and hiding in the smoking area or something, if that's 5% better or 2% better.
We'll let the audience tell us what they prefer in a couple of minutes. Like we'll get the feedback coming through, and they can let us know.
Yeah.
Keep us updated on Wills. All right. Wills is going on the
We're
list.
really excited here. So the seat of Wills, that's Owen Miller in Melbourne. Anyone who's
Owen
not sure
Miller,
who Wills is?
yes.
Owen Miller, yeah. By far the most visible of all of our candidates. You can see we've got bright pink here on the screen. Owen has bright pink hair. You can see him from 1,000 kilometres away.
Yes.
And the light reflects off his head.
This thing was to do with cosmology.
Fantastic.
And the birth of the universe, and people dancing around representing quarks. And this sort
Is that someone talking to us, or is that just background noise?
No, that's background noise. They're talking about debating physics now.
Fantastic. Awesome.
So for those of you who don't know, hopefully you can make this out. If not, then whatever. My name is Miles Whittaker, lead Fusion Party Senate candidate for New South Wales. That's New South Wales. How's that audio quality there? Okay, we've got some confused faces there.
Sorry, the kids just chose this exact moment to come and interrupt me as though they haven't
Amazing.
had All day.
Yeah. That's all right.
God.
So I've got with me 3 out of our 5 lower house candidates here. Sorry, 2 out of our 4 lower house candidates here. Right next to me here is Peter.
So calling Brendan here.
Right next to me here is Brendan Clark. What seat are you in, Brendan? Thank you. And across to me here, I'll just move the mic a little bit so we can see him. Enjoy.
Let me know, guys, if that sound is just too distracting. If you want them to go somewhere else to the...
So that guy over there is John August for the seat of Bennelong. John August for the seat of Bennelong. You're live, John. I've just introduced you on the live stream to all of Australia.
Hello, all of Australia.
John says hello. As you can see, things are a bit chaotic here. We're all celebrating.
Hi, John.
Volunteers have been out all day. It's been a long tiring day, but it's actually been really cool and dry here, which we're really glad. It was pouring about a week ago. And now, no rain at all, no but a tiny bit of sun. Everyone is saying it was a bit hot in the morning, but I'm from North Queensland, so I don't notice the heat, you know?
What the hell you were doing? And you know, we had like, it was weird, you know, you had like a float, and then you had 2 sort of half marshals who were having the gap between the different floats.
Hopefully,
so they were giving me what hand direction, sort of speed up or slow down or whatever. You know?
Having a debate about landing a plane over there. Obviously, when I mentioned is at this table, everyone thinks they could be the person to land the plane if the pilot was incapacitated.
Well, I would like to let you know that we just officially reached 100 votes for the Fusion Party.
Amazing.
100!
Let's bring that up.
Yeah, that is just down here at the bottom here. So let me just... Here we go. And I'm just going to do a little bit of a... Nope, that's not the right one. Nope, that was the right one.
Hey, there we go.
There we go.
You can see me.
Hey.
Owen. I can see Owen.
Hey guys, can you hear us?
I can hear you. I'm going to give you a break for our audio and give your ears a rest. So feel free to take us off tomorrow, and maybe we'll say hi again later.
Okay.
I was going to say, I might mute you for a bit just while we say hi to Owen and the guys there, but we'll keep you on the screen so we can see you. Like, feel free just to leave us the background. So yeah. Hi guys in Victoria, how are we going?
Going well, yeah. How are you, Tammy? Are you exhausted today?
I was going to say Tam or tomorrow will be fine. I am. I'm absolutely white, but it has been a great day. I was just saying we've just reached the milestone. Fusion have gotten 100 votes so far.
Which seats are we looking at? Which have come in?
We're looking at the ABC Live results at the moment. So this is nationwide, but obviously we're talking mostly the East Coast and South Australia where votes have been tabulated. But these are very, very early results. So these are obviously nowhere near what we're expecting the results to be.
But this is like Senate, is it, or lower house? The 100 votes?
I was going to say that's lower house.
Oh, okay. Oh, great.
Yeah, that's House of Reps. That's lower house. So that's the national summary for the party vote. Yeah.
I was meeting a few people today. Yeah, they were telling me I got their vote. Although the most puzzling I found, just as I was packing up the sign and leaving, I was carrying the sign. The 2 kids next to me were looking at it. I asked them, do you reckon it's convincing? They said, oh, I'm not sure. My parents voted for that party though. Like it was, that sort of like Bruce Wayne, Clark Kent sort of thing. Like the sign is like, I'm right there and they don't, I don't know, didn't register like that's me in the sign.
No. I had that all the time when I was handing out how to votes as well. Didn't matter that I was standing right next to the sign. I'd go, yeah, that's me. They'd go, oh, are you running while looking at me standing next to the sign handing out how to vote? So I was like, okay.
But to be fair, in the sign, I was happy. I was energetic. It wasn't 6 p.m. on the last day of polling. But are you feeling more refreshed now? Ready to party?
Sorry, 1 second. The kids, honestly, I don't know why they've just decided right now, just as we're getting the results in, they need to start harassing me. But for some reason, that's just the way it works with young people. Timing's not always their best. Give me 1 second. Why don't you have a bit of a chat with you, like chat with you guys, and I'll be right back with you. Tell us about yourselves. How was your experience on the polls today?
Oh yeah, it was eventful for you, wasn't it, Simon?
yeah. We had a lot of I'd say like very positive experiences to really learn like I'm sure that our next campaign will be our best one yet. Like we hit some real good talking points that got us a lot of support. We've done some things in Victoria a bit differently. I'll just hold up. We've got our this is our how to vote card, and yeah, it looks like a jumble, but actually we have laid out what our actual policies are rather than being vague about it. And
not just slogans.
And we're not using slogans. Well, maybe a little bit actually, because we've done a very strategic decision here where where instead of just selling technical details, we're actually being more inspirational, where we're not saying, oh, UBI is where you get $500 a week. We're saying UBI, this is how UBI could transform your life. This is how you can if you work work less days per week, because you've got that income that's always going to be there. Freedom to change jobs, leave abuse if you're struggling to get a ladder to get out of a tough situation. And you put more time with family, more time with in the garden, repairing nature, whatever it is. There's so many possibilities. So we're selling the possibilities of universal basic income. Like in previous campaigns, we just talk. If you talk tax policy or the technical bits. No, it doesn't really interest people that much. But so we previously didn't think it was that big of an issue. But when we frame it in a completely different way that gets people excited for the possibilities, where it's and then obviously you've got to have a bit of enthusiasm to sell it, and it's more like a salesman kind of job. But you're effectively putting it on the table, and it's not just, oh yeah, that sounds okay. Oh, I might put you number 2, but rather, oh wow, this is actually incredible stuff. I'm going to change my vote intention and put you number 1. This is a really, really good policy. And with these strategies and techniques that we've been working towards and actually putting it into action, I could go to a polling booth where the line is long out onto the street. So lots of bored people standing around with nothing to do. And I can work my way down that line, selling all these ideas. And even if they're not wanting to listen to it, usually I can say, "Oh, sure, I've got some reading material while you wait," or maybe, and if I still push back, maybe take it for later while you're on the toilet or something. You want to read something, make a bit of a joke, and they're like, oh, "Okay, fine, I'll take the card." And then I look at it and I'm like, "Oh, okay, well, that's interesting." So
you hope they go to the website.
Yeah, I hope so. And I would like to replicate this sort of ideas onto the website as well. But just from the how to vote card itself, it's detailed enough and really focused on selling the idea as more than it is about the technical aspect of the idea. So I think we've got strong strategies going on that can really set us up for future campaigns. And when I say future campaigns, I don't mean just elections themselves on the day, but we need to use this sort of strategy to build movements where we can, instead of today, the intention is to get people excited enough to change their mind of who they were intending to vote for and put us number 1. And look, we didn't have great coverage of booths, so I'm not sure what sort of result we'll get. But I would say, of the people that we actually, at least I was able to market towards and get that response, I'm sure that of that line, I would guess easily 90% of people took the card and acted very positive and were saying things like, I'm going to change my vote and vote for you.
I think we've also got to remember that so much of this, especially when movement building, it's not so much about necessarily the vote on the piece of paper as much as it is about those conversations, the connections, the community connections. Like
Exactly.
we're doing such a good job just by having people stop and have those conversations with us. It's so hard to get people just to stop and pay attention in this day and age, honestly. Oh.
So today we were winning votes, but next time we could be winning supporters and winning people to join us and spread the pitch. And
Well, that's literally what I've been saying to everyone who's told me that they voted for me. I've said, excellent. So next time you're going to sign up to volunteer?
Yeah, exactly. But
Not
I
a
think
single
that this
person
is-
has gotten away without that.
Well, I think this is like getting exciting enough that we could actually get that level of support. For the first
Absolutely.
time, we're hitting talking points where it is exciting enough where people will actually get involved with these ideas, and I think we can be a real force to be reckoned with the next time it comes to an
I
election.
want to say something.
We got a comment from my dad, Isaac, who's been helping me today.
Yeah, well, there are a lot of people who are disillusioned with the three major parties, and they're looking for minor parties to vote for, and they believe, okay, you're not going to get up, but I'm going to send a message to the major parties. You've got to do
A
better.
protest, yeah.
And it's a protest,
Absolutely.
and it's getting bigger and bigger because they're not doing any better. Again,
Absolutely.
Yeah,
They're not.
we can do more. It's like we can capture the protest, but also the positive that it's not just a protest, but this is like a legitimately better option.
All we need is to get one Senate seat, and then you've got automatic media coverage.
Yes.
Just like Pauline Hanson and Jackie Landry.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
The
really
statistics for how many
excited.
people decide their vote in the booth conflict avoider, it's about 4% of voters decide their a vote in the booth.
Oh,
Yes,
that's
my
interesting.
specialisation is literally politics. So yes, I do know these
How many of
things off
those
the
are
top of my head.
informal votes?
Too many.
Sorry?
How many of those are informal votes?
Oh, we'll see. We will. I would say we will see tonight with the informal vote what that's going to be. I am expecting a rise in the informal vote.
Oh, how come?
I accidentally almost stuffed up my vote.
No.
Luckily I double checked, because like I'm the guy who puts all the numbers below the line, and so like I actually luckily double checked, and I did repeat a number, and I'm like, oh my god.
Oh
So
no,
I made
that
a
would not have been
mistake.
good.
So
Definitely
if I didn't
not.
double check, my whole vote would have been invalid.
That I have nearly made that mistake myself before as well, because I always vote below the line. You do have to be careful doing that, but just be very, very careful. But no, the reason I think we are going to see an increase in votes below the line is because there has actually been a concerted campaign by a few political, I shouldn't say political groups, by a few cooker groups to have people vote informally or cross out the names on the ballot and write, I don't believe any suitable candidates and things like that. I've been trying to educate people on not doing that, on avoiding informal voting because it is pointless. There are other things you can do if you don't want to vote besides informal voting. But
I mean, yeah, there is a lot of voter apathy out there, and I remember a previous campaign there was a lot of that going on with the voters saying, "Oh, I'm just here to get my name marked off, so I don't get a fine. Oh, I don't really care. I don't want to." And it was very hard. Like they were very resistant. Like, you couldn't really talk them into it to take it seriously.
Look at that one. Labor up, Liberals plonk.
Whoa, that's a big drop. Wow.
And Independent.
Wow, that is an absolute whitewash. And you know what? Well, it deserved. Like the Liberals have been absolutely shocking. Nothing of substance. I'm glad that the Australian people can see that.
Well,
we
hang on, Labor are the capsicums. They got no substance.
They got to swing towards them. Wow.
Liberals.
I mean, yeah,
just a major disappointment.
I mean, I'm not saying Labor are great, but wow, the Liberals are just that bad.
Labor.
I reckon the next election we need to have a red line and a purple line. Just Fusion versus Labor. That's what it needs to be. We're gonna be stumped. Oh, we can't hear anything now. That worked.
Sorry, that was me. That's my fault. I mute it whenever the kids come in the room because they just will not leave the room.
There's
So
another Sydney electorate that's gone.
But I think what it'll be Labor versus the Greens as the two major parties, and we're going to be in there as a party of protest, holding them to account, making them do their actual jobs, and holding their toes to the fire.
Of course, it's that, but it's also like you've got Greens on the tail of Labor, trying to push them to be better.
Let's
So,
hammer that one.
so like I see there's definitely room here for Fusion to be on the tail of the Greens, telling them to be better.
Absolutely.
Like,
Absolutely.
I mean, who's going to be next after us? Like we've got to keep each other in check.
Conflict avoider, that's just the people who decide in the booth on the day. What I mean is there are a lot of people who, sorry, there's just questions in the comments coming up as well. There are people who are stuck with one party and will always vote the same party. That number is getting smaller and smaller and smaller. What I mean is that most people are informed voters who are going in know who they're going to vote for in this country. I would love to ban how to vote cards. I honestly hate them. They are like, oh yeah, no, how to vote cards are the worst thing that ever happened.
That was our best strategy. We wouldn't have got stuff done.
Yeah, I know. They're absolutely every political party's major strategy.
Are you talking about the how to vote card itself, or just the preference orders that you're not liking?
No, I mean, as in, I think the concept of the how to vote card should be banned, and we should not allow how to vote cards at all. We should be encouraging informed voters.
So you're talking like you can still present policy, but not saying, "I'll put this person next," and with 1, 2, 3.
Yes. Say vote for me one, and then vote for whoever you want afterwards. I do not think we should be doing preferences, how to vote card.
I think we actually used the preference. I genuinely agree, and everyone should be an informed voter. But
in the columns as well.
But at the same time, like, voting should be as accessible as possible, and I think that we use our preference order very effectively here in Victoria, where we use the preference order to make particular statements as well. So, like, I'll try and hold it up a little bit. I'm not sure if it will show up.
I'm just gonna, like, as I said, this is sort of my.
Oh, sorry. But we sort of use it as a scorecard as well.
Yeah.
Something going on here. Independents are getting up left, right, and centre.
Yes, they are. So just to let you know, we're going to go back to Anthony Green in just a second. But just to let you know where I'm coming from when I say that. So I have worked with parties on doing how to vote cards, on doing preference deals in like the last dozen elections, and I hate it every single time because of the back party. Like, as a young party, as a sort of a new emerging party, Fusion doesn't have a lot of those problems yet, but as soon as you get into the weeds of what it means in this political space to be doing how to vote cards and the preference deals that get made, and I remember, like, I was yelling, like, arguing with the head of the party, screaming, just being like, you absolutely cannot put her second. She is a Liberal-light candidate. Her policies are all Liberal-light policies. You cannot put her before the Labor candidate. I don't care what she's promising you. She's lying. They went behind my back and printed, like, you know what I mean? Like, everyone just goes behind and does these deals. And, anyway,
look, I hear what you're saying.
A miracle.
Yeah, I think I agree to some extent, but I think we also need to be open-minded and using this as a tool that's effective. Like we were in Victoria.
I'm not saying that I'm not saying we shouldn't use them because they exist and they're there. I'm saying I would like to get the how to vote card as a concept banned. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying don't use them if it's there. Like, go for gold. I'm just telling you that me personally.
Yeah, no, that's fine. That's fine. I agree. I just want to make the point that in Victoria we did things a bit differently with our preference order, and we were making particular implied statements based on these orders, and then when it came to actually campaigning on the ground with voters, where they're asking why did you put this in this particular order, we were able to justify those answers to make certain points that this party is being difficult to work with to get changes done, and that party is easier to work with and we're able to get things done. And we're an open-minded party that's willing
I don't want to spend all night talking about how to vote cards, but I'm just going to say this: the negatives are greatly outweigh the positives.
Sure.
Like, Trumpet of Patriots as a party exists because of the existence of how to vote cards. That is why Trumpet of Patriots exists as a party, to make use of the how to vote card. And so that's the thing. Like, great, there might be some positives to them, but on the whole, they're negative. And so
I'm just thankful that group voting tickets are almost completely abolished, except for Victoria, which is lagging behind. The group voting tickets, that's the most toxic of preferences. That is the absolute worst and least transparent thing.
That has only ever been an issue in state voting, though, for the last sort of however many elections since I think the 90s.
Victoria is the only jurisdiction that still has it. So
yeah, WA, our last state election was the first election where we didn't have it. Yeah, but that hasn't been an issue, thankfully, federally for quite a while, which is thank God, which means we have a chance of getting in. Look at some of these results so far. Holy shit!
Can you catch us up?
Absolutely. So at the moment, I'm just trying to have a quick look let's have a look at the party totals. All right. So we're seeing there's a swing away from the major parties across the board, including the Greens. Huge swing towards independents and other minor parties. Yes. And we
Fusion
have
303. Nice. Okay.
Yes. Woo! Hey, go Fusion! Yeah. Hey, like that, spotting that important number first up. Good work.
303. I guess. How many members do we have? Must be like 3,000 now. So once we get beyond that point, it's
I think I know where we went wrong. Like, when to not get higher. Like, I did get a lot of criticism of something that we were missing, where we didn't have a loud shirts policy. That's what the voters really want. It's like, where's the loud shirts policy? I want a loud shirts policy.
They liked my pink suit. Yeah, I haven't got the jacket now, but where was the sash? Yeah, have you got the sash with you? We'll grab it later.
Eventually, I got a sash.
Nice. Yeah. But actually, you guys in Sydney, what were you doing for? Was it all the black shirts, the Fusion logos still? John, show us your outfit.
I'm beating 3 people.
Yeah, nice. Yeah. People recognize it?
It's the old faithful. Yeah. No. So we did. So Brendan did have some feedback up in the booth. It seemed like there was less name recognition, given that he's now transitioned from Science Party over to Fusion Party. So Brendan Clark has previously ran in Berowra and Hornsby at state, local, and federal levels for a number of years now. Actually, I'll put him on so he can talk for himself.
This was the sash.
Hi. How you going? Let me see if you
show everyone.
Yeah, I've got comments on this, and they love the logo.
How did you do?
Oh, okay. A little bit weird this year. Most people didn't recognise the Science, didn't recognise the Fusion Party, but they recognised the Science Party brand. And some of the people did recognise the Fusion Party, but mainly I had to go and tell everyone that we were previously the Science Party. But people that did, that sort of liked what we were talking about, but they didn't recognise our brand. That was a big problem.
Yeah.
I like their policies, but not our brand.
How many votes do you think you'll get?
Based on previous elections, probably 2%. I'm hoping for 4, of course. But yeah, it didn't look very promising in terms of brand recognition, and therefore a lot of people who used to recognise us in the previous elections didn't realise who we were. Just had no recollection of who we were.
Show me.
All right, there you go. You can have a look. So I'm hoping that changes.
What were the policies you ran on? What were the policies you ran on?
Mainly, affordable housing, scientific research, basically election transparency, and there's me. Oh God, my mind's gone blank. 2.2. Pro-nuclear was a good one. Not pro-nuclear. Not pro-nuclear. Power plants. I think I had about nuclear research was very good. And battery storage, solar and renewable energy stuff. That's the religious party. So that was pretty good. Christian. So they liked that, and we had a few arguments about how that could be feasible with battery storage and things like that. And that was actually pretty good. So they liked our renewable energy stance. They liked our fact that we had whistleblower protection. A lot of people, because I'm usually using the previous elections conflicts, they like the pirate party. It sparked conversation.
This is a great success.
Where people would actually come up and say, "What's the pirate party about?"
Thank you so much. Thank you.
I guess, Brendan, it's worth noting you were up against Liberal competition there, yeah?
I think I've got more. So it's worth noting you're up against Liberal. You were up against Liberal competition there.
Liberal competition. Julian Lisa, it's an established safe Liberal seat.
It's only
3% counted. There's a new independent, Tina Brown, who's actually spent a lot of money and a lot of resources, a lot of volunteers to actually run in that seat.
I think I've got about 3.1%, something like that.
I suppose we are the 4 progressive parties.
No, I'm saying if you have someone that boosts
myself,
increases by
Labor, Greens, and the Independent. Everyone else is Conservative.
No,
there's
I've
8
got more than
candidates.
1%.
That's it.
We might transition to somewhere quieter now.
Yeah.
Say that. Okay, we're going to transition to somewhere quieter. We'll see you in 5 minutes.
No worries. Thanks, guys. We'll just remove them for a second. All right. So, hi, Ed. How you going?
Oh, pretty good yourself.
Fantastic. I'm just going to jump them off for a second while you and I have a quick chat. So tell us a little bit about how your campaign went today. How did you feel like it was out there on the campaign trail?
Pretty tiring, really. It was
Yeah?
the first for me, so and the local candidates, he's a pediatrician, so a lot of the people, they were just happy to vote for him because they were his old patients, like
right
40-year-olds that were his old patients.
Yeah. Yeah.
So he's very likable and he's a very nice guy.
Yeah.
But
Hard to argue with them.
it is. I definitely had a lot of people coming up to me and talking to me about Fusion and asking them what we're about, which was good.
Yeah, excellent having the curiosity out there for sure. And even just, getting that recognition out there. Now, I just want to quickly talk about some of these election results that we're seeing come in. First of all, this one, Dixon. Guys, have we seen this? Dutton's about to lose his seat. Peter Dutton's
Nice.
going to lose his seat.
Oh no! Couldn't it be worse though? Couldn't it end up with someone be worse leaving the Liberal Party?
Who cares? Honestly, Dutton, if he's gone, if the evil potato is gone, I don't care.
But who's going to take over? There's the problem.
Not the evil potato anymore.
The stickers are at the bottom.
Give us this win.
The bottom of the cabinet.
Peter Dutton's lost his seat. Probably, I honestly, Honestly, who? Let's see if they win any seats before we worry about who's going to be the party leader. Let's see if they have a party first before we worry.
Well, yeah,
Sorry,
I was thinking tomorrow. I'm not sure if everybody's familiar, but in Victoria at least, we ended up preferencing. So the Libertarians, we preferenced them third in Wills. They preferenced us third as well, and then in the Senate, it was 5 for 5. And so one of the things we were hoping to do with this deal is the culture wars. Like, could that die down a bit? Could the left-right divide be eased a bit? So that, these people who would have been inclined towards sort of quote-unquote crazier parties would now see, some of the merits of Fusion, being open up, being a bit more open-minded,
Fantastic. I honestly, sorry, I'm just looking at this result. I'm smiling. So
Yeah. Oh, but I'm thinking, when we were saying before, will there be a Liberal Party left?
Oh, yes, yeah.
We don't want these people to descend even more conservative,
Oh, absolutely not.
Something like
Absolutely
Family
not.
First,
Yeah, absolutely not. And this is one of the difficult things we have, particularly in regional seats, is that we don't have a lot of the more left-wing options that you guys get sort of in metro areas. So yes, it is 76 seats to win. The LNP look like they have 26 at the moment, ALP on 29, and 6 at the moment with independents and others, which is fantastic to see.
Let's check out your seat, shall we? What's happening there?
My seat, well, the polls haven't actually closed yet.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So it's we've got a little bit more time.
We had
Now
we had a few candidates in can we go to Sydney?
Yes.
We had people there.
Let's have a look. What seat would you guys like to have a look at?
Bennelong, how's John August doing?
Bennelong.
You know what would be even funnier? Would be if Albo lost his seat as well.
Oh my goodness! Wouldn't that be? Ooh. All right, let's have a look at this seat. So it looks like it's going to go swing 11.5% swing to the ALP.
Oh wow!
Wow!
I've got a seat for you, McMahon.
Oh, here, John's on 2.2. This is good.
John, 2.2, a 0.8% swing toward the Fusion Party. Amazing work, John. That's fantastic.
Is John still with us, or is that feed still there?
Here we
Come
go.
back there. He's coming here on the way. Yeah.
He's on the way. Okay.
It was too noisy
Excellent.
for the front of the quiet. Yeah.
Hey, Brendan,
No.
is John with us?
Not yet. He's on the way.
But we just saw he's got a 0.8% swing.
Yes. Yeah.
It's looking amazing.
I've got another seat to look at, and that's McMahon, because there's a sleazy bastard that owns the seats. And he needs to be out of Parliament.
McMahon, New South Wales?
Yes.
Let's have a look. No, it looks like Chris Bowen's going to hold on to that one.
Oh, there's an independent who's supposed to be doing well.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
John's
really?
in the way. John's here.
John! Hey! Let's go back and look at John's result quickly while we've got John here. Hang on a sec. I'll be right back with you. John! Wait, where's John? No, we've gone too far. Where's John?
We're looking really essential.
Ah, shit.
Thanks, Owen.
That's
Looking
John.
essential is a good idea.
We need binoculars.
Yeah, don't worry, John.
Yes, I can hear him. I can
What
hear
is
him.
that background noise? I'm just going to mute that.
Yeah, come up.
No, not that one. It's that
Oh, that's
one.
Owen.
There we
That's
go. There we go. All right,
Tamara,
sorry.
can you hear us?
Yeah.
John's here with us now.
Yes, I'm going back to John's seat so we can have a look at John's result. One sec. Sorry, I had to mute someone's phone was ringing in the background. One moment. Ben.
We're running critically low on battery. We've got 3% left. So if you want to ask him any questions, now's your chance.
Yes, yes.
John, 2.2%, 0.8% growth in the vote for Fusion. Amazing work.
Good job.
Yes, not doing too badly. I think I'm equal with One Nation, and I think last election was 2.13%. So I'm already exceeding that. Last time I had the benefit of the initial vote, list, getting the vote, but this time was at the bottom of the list. So I guess it's pretty good progress considering. That lovely word, considering. You can put a lot into it, you know?
We don't have to put that word in there, John. We can just say you've done a really good job and that's an impressive result. And congratulations.
Yeah, I'll take that. Not a problem.
Yeah, amazing work. So, can I ask, what do you think? What was the biggest challenge that you had out on the election trial, and what would you do differently? Do you think next time?
Well, I suppose we didn't get our stuff printed. We didn't do any letterboxing or stuff at railway stations. But the balance of it is that I turned up to so many candidates' forums, and as far as I can tell, I made a good impression at them. So
fantastic.
There's two things going on there. And then on the day, I didn't really have that many volunteers handing stuff out for me. I think we got to about 5 or 6, which wasn't that much better than last time. So as I say, you can pour so many things into that word considering. So but yeah, I suppose and also hush hush. There were some dramas with preference deals and so on. I'm not sure I should go into that here, but by golly, that was a cause of there were some things that chewed up a bit of time, and it would have been nice if that wasn't happening. But you're asking me what went right and wrong. I guess I'm struggling to connect my thoughts together on the hop, I guess.
No, that's all right. I did put you on the spot there a little bit, but I will say it's just another reason I hate how to vote cards. There you go. There's another strike against them.
Oh, well, the other thing was, one thing I will say is there was a lot of sympathy with how much waste we have. And wouldn't it be nice if you had a board with however many A4 sheets corresponding to the number of candidates? And we can all put our position within A4, and there's a bit of throttle there. If the print is too fine, people won't read it. But if you say something worthwhile, maybe people will read it and take it in. and all these bits of paper get printed and wasted and so on. And I think everybody is sort of somewhat emotional about, the price of democracy.
Oh, we've lost them. I think that's the end of the battery life. I think that is the end of their battery life, but we'll switch back.
Are
we going to queue on?
It ended up being
Hi, Victoria.
not the unstaffed foods.
She's going ahead.
I'm just going to switch over to, here we go. I'm just going to switch over to this one and we're going to get Victoria back on the stage.
I went to the Jewish one and I had a good chat to her.
They do. They shred everything afterwards, conflict avoiding, yes, for conferencing and things.
I think she could actually work with us.
Owen, Victoria, how are you guys going?
And
sorry, just a second.
and they did a lousy campaign.
Hey, Tamara, we're still here. Yeah.
No, it's just like anyone can talk. I wasn't meaning you specifically. Poor Owen.
Have we? I don't know. I don't want to jinx it. Is it too early to look at wills, by the way?
It is not too early to look at wills. We'll have a quick look at wills in a second. While I'm pulling that one up, actually, I've just got to duck out just quickly to grab something. Do you guys want to have a quick chat and just say what were you hoping for when you started this election campaign? And now that we're sort of at the end of it and you've got that all behind you, how close do you think that goal was? How reasonable do you think it was? How on the balance of things, how do you think things went? And I'll be right back.
I guess originally I didn't have like a hard number set. I guess in Aston when I last ran we got 2.89%. But there were criticisms there. For instance, I didn't live in the area. But Wills, Brunswick, it skews towards the socialists. So the two socialist parties got 6% last time. And it was daunting thinking like, well, if I am to get extra votes, who's it going to come from? Like anyone who's voting socialist is pretty hardcore. They're probably not going to be swayed. Like maybe steal some Greens Labour votes. But then, I started to get good responses after I made the YouTube ad. I thought like, this is good. Let's double down on this. I increased it to 5.5K I spent on the YouTube ads. We got 93,000 impressions. And, the goal was like, if I double down, if we bet enough, can we get to the 4%? So, if we get 4%, the champagne's going open, popping open.
We've got some early results in. This is great. This is good news.
Mm-hmm.
You are on 0.6% with 15 votes.
Okay.
People voting for you.
I was about to jump out the window when you said 0.16, 0.6%. Okay.
There's hardly anything.
But that's a goal. Oh, I should mention as well. Besides the goal of numbers aside, 4%, 5%, whatever. Like as we were talking about before, universal basic income. It's number 2 on our hard vote card. On our posters, our signs, it's also number 2. It would be good. Like even if Fusion doesn't win, if we can get universal basic income part of the the national sort of conversation, this is going to be a win because you explain it to anyone and like most people are just sold. Like this is a good idea. This needs to happen. Yeah. I wonder actually, Ed, have you were you chatting with people about UBI? Well, what
no, I wasn't. I only know a little bit about it, so I was talking to them about education, election transparency, and housing.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah. But, tomorrow I wonder, the people you meet, they're fans of UBI as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah.
So, good time to just jump back in there. Yeah, absolutely. I think one of the things I think that is interesting is when you talk to people about it, it's something that a lot of people recognize as a policy and it gets the conversation started. So from there, you can immediately jump straight into talking about how relatively little tax we pay. Like you can talk about tax reform and how this isn't just talking about pulling money out of nowhere. We're talking about a big plan here that's got a lot of detail into it. And you can actually talk about the way that this could reshape our economy. It's a really good jumping off spot to have a lot of really good discussions, because I think if you start out to people and say tax reform, they go, no, thank you.
Yeah.
But if you say UBI, Thanks
Yeah,
for tax
yeah.
reform.
Well, yeah, as we were saying before, the freedom of it, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Absolutely. This is very exciting. So we're having a look at Will's now. I'm going to pull this result up.
Oh, no.
You
Oh,
wanna
no.
have a
So
look?
Simon was saying before there are only 15 votes. So I'm scared to look now. Can
Oh,
we come back in like half an hour? Okay.
yeah. We'll come back later. We'll come back later. Don't stress. Where should we'll go? We'll do a quick. What about you, Ed? Where did you run? Should we look at where you are at the moment?
MacArthur.
MacArthur. Let's have a look at MacArthur, shall we? Pull up a good little MacArthur page and see Fusion Party vote analysis. Oh my gosh, AI has guessed what I'm doing over here. How is that? MacArthur, here we go. So it's definitely not going to go to the Liberals, that's for sure. Holy shit!
No,
talk about a swing.
It was never going to Liberals.
Ed, 2.2% of the votes so far. Fantastic.
Yeah.
That's amazing! Woohoo! Celebrate! I was going to say celebrate every last one of those votes, every last impression, every absolutely, guys. You earned every single one of those.
I'm just celebrating that we even did this. Like this is so great. Yeah, we pulled through so many candidates, putting out such great ideas. Like we just the effort alone, we reached the end. It's really good.
Yep. Absolutely is. Should we cut back to the ABC election results for a little bit and see what they're coming back with at the moment? Is anyone keen for an update from ABC yet? Yes, no, maybe.
We were just looking through these results on our phones, and we were just looking at all these ABC swings to the ALP, and so it makes it look like everyone's voting Labor, but then when you go into the detail, they're counting all these minor parties who are getting a lot of support and putting that under the two-party preferred under ALP's swing, but it's not really their swing.
So what you're looking at when you're looking at the election results breakdown, what you are looking is they are projecting it based on the preference count.
Yeah, of course they are.
Yeah, so that is something they actually do state it on the website, and it is important to remember as we're going through it that this is a projected result based on what it will look like after the preferences have flowed through. So what they're basically saying is that they assume that the Greens, Fusion, have preference. They've set their preferences to Labor, which is going to help result in that extra swing. Which what that does tell us, which is really exciting, is that across the country, people are voting more left wing than ever before. We're getting more and more of that swing to the left than ever before, and that is really bloody exciting.
To keep that graphic up there for a moment, it is what's interesting to me here is that you did a good explanation, but let's just say you just don't have that context. You're just looking through and you see that graphic 9.8% swing to the ALP, and you could initially get that impression. Oh wow, people were loving Labor, but then looking at that data, good. ALP have got a good swing there, but it's mainly a indictment that Liberal. Scroll down just a little bit lower.
Sorry, I'm just gonna skip back to how we're doing as a party because here we go, because we're getting a few results in now. Sorry, I'm just listening on the other ear to what ABC's got coming in with us, and they're saying that there's some interesting results down here. So I want to have a quick look and see what they mean by interesting results. Where's Fusion? Someone pointed out. There we are. 400. We're up to 400.
Yay!
Woohoo! Go Fusion! Very excited by that. But yeah, when you do come in here and you look at the party breakdown, you can see that across the country there is a 2% swing away from the Labor Party.
Correct,
so what we are seeing here is we're seeing a really huge swing towards independence. Unfortunately, we've also got a One Nation swing in there, which is gross. Always hate seeing that. There's a bit of a swing towards the Liberal National Party, which is in the Northern Territory. So, interesting there.
So Liberals did pick up overall.
No, not the Liberal Party, Liberal National Party, which is
The Queensland one.
like
Okay.
that's Queensland. Sorry, not Northern Territory. Yeah, and then Nationals as well as also in there with the
Okay. Yeah, they're
coalition.
counting them as separate entities. Okay. Yep.
Yeah, so this is when you do the breakdown of individual parties. You can see that the Liberal Party have lost 7.3%, but they're in a coalition with the Liberal Party, the Liberal National Party, sorry, and the Nationals, which means that there's like a 4% gain that they've got there. So they've only
Actually,
really lost 3%.
that is actually really useful because the Liberal Party, as a distinct entity from the more conservative elements of LNP and Nationals, they have this brand of being a moderate option, but they're the ones who are, I would say, are most dysfunctional. So this is really like an indictment of how bad these so-called moderate Liberals are bad. That their supporters are they're losing supporters in droves. And it's not. This is not to say, oh wow, look how great Labor are doing, but actually look how many people are abandoning these so-called moderate Liberals. And
well, it's the
also,
major parties. We're seeing people abandon the major parties in droves, which
parties,
is really encouraging. Absolutely.
Yeah,
So
and
let's have
the Liberals in particular, these moderates are losing the most, and the Greens are winning a lot. So even though it says swing to Labor, the heavy lifting is being done by the Greens here, not by Labor themselves.
Well, actually, if we look at the result, this is why I was saying break it down by party result. If we look at
Oh,
the
you
result,
know, wow,
there is
I'm wrong.
actually
No,
there hasn't.
Wow. It's the independents
So,
doing the heavy lifting.
It's
Wow.
the
okay.
independents. Like people are moving away from the major parties, including the
Yes.
Greens. Like when I talk about the major parties, I'm talking about the coalition, the Labor Party, and the Greens. They are the three major parties in this country, and people are moving away from them. So even though the Greens are going to probably see an increase in the vote and probably pick up a few seats, we can still see that this big movement that people are having towards other parties, it's the Greens are not part of grabbing onto as many of those votes. I'd say we see a few socialists coming in. We're going to see a few left-wingers come in, which is very exciting.
Yeah, it's sort of showing that the Greens are actually stagnated, while the independents, and if you add in, say, legalized cannabis, that is actually doing the heavy lifting here, where people are going to flip now. They're not flipping Green; they're flipping for these other options. These are this is the future. And we should be we can fit in there as well.
I think it really comes down to the fact that people, as their first preference, people are understanding preferential voting a lot more now, because there has been, especially since TikTok really blew up 5 years ago, there's been a huge effort from creators to make sure people know how preferential voting works and really outlining how it works. And I know that was how I blew up on TikTok originally. That was how a lot of fellow Aussie creators blew up on TikTok originally, was trying to get people to understand how preferential voting works. And I think now that people have a lot more understanding of how a preferential voting works, they're less likely to put a major party number one, because they know that eventually a major party will get, will have a prime minister, everything will be fine, but they just know they've got that flexibility to pick someone completely out of left field if they want to. So why wouldn't they?
Yeah, it's really good when voters know that they can put their preferred option number one, and they're responding and saying, I want this really good independent or this really good minor party candidate. That's my first preference. Wow, what a great statement.
Absolutely. So we're seeing some, sorry, I was just checking to see if Anthony Green had come back on here yet. So we've got, we're seeing, unfortunately, at the moment, it looks like 35 seats have been decided, which is about halfway through, 35 seats have been decided. That's not what I meant at all. It's the most either party could have would be 35 if they were going to all band together to make a minority government. So we don't have enough seats to make government at the moment. Darkness, yes, I am also hoping for a minority ALP government. Fingers crossed. There has been enough of a swing away from the majors that we might still see it. Sorry, I'm just going to see. So I've got a private chat here. That's okay. I'm just going to...
Next minute.
All right. I was going to say, do you guys want me to take you off for a bit so you can do socialise amongst yourselves? You can come back on later when everyone else comes back on?
Yeah, I just have one final thought about just the Greens on that stagnation. I think that's also an indictment on them as well, that they have stagnated and they could be doing better. And I wish they were doing better.
I think it's a bit early in the night to say that they've stagnated. I think it's like,
Oh,
we're
okay.
still, it's still, like polling hasn't even closed in Western
Sure.
Australia yet. We've still got 12
Maybe,
minutes before
maybe I've got
polling
a bit of a
closes.
Victoria-centric view there, or maybe a bit. I'm
Well-
a bit of a zealot, but
Well, no, I just think-
I would like to see better from the Greens. Is what is my personal view, and that's why I love Fusion, because I feel like we're the ones
Yeah.
who do better and lift up the field overall of ideas.
I think what is also important to remember though is that I think lots of different parties have their own different places and things. And one of the things to remember about the Greens is that oftentimes they don't win the vote. They won't win the seat. It won't be declared for the Greens until preferences have been worked out, because a lot of the times the competition will come down to who is it between the Greens and Labor. And so early on, it's showing us that the Greens aren't winning any seats and they're not really getting ahead in the percentage of the vote.
Yeah.
But again, once the preferences are actually worked out, because this is all based on
I was referring to the swing,
guessing.
to the swing being 0%, not that the predicted seats.
Oh yeah. Well,
Yeah, I was
that's
talking about
really
the swing.
it's still. So
I think
early.
that's the
It's still
indictment.
so
But I mean, if they were doing really well and actually hitting the right points and the right tones, and people could go, oh wow, progressive politics is really good, because the Greens are doing such a good job, then that swing would be more than zero.
Yeah, well, it has just updated and told us that their swing is now 0.1% towards the Greens, so they are
well,
gaining.
They can be proud to get that much.
They're
They could be
gaining.
doing a lot more.
They're gaining. All right. I understand that there is. Anyway. So let's jump back onto. Let's see if we've got any analysis coming up at the moment, and see what we can have a look at. Should we do a quick wrap around to some of the? Is there anyone else who's joined us who wants us to check their seats while I'm checking these ones? So I'm going down my list that we have so far for today, and the first one we're going to check out is Indi. Indy. Every time I say it, I feel like a twit every single time. Share this tab. Here we go. There we go. Yes, 10 minutes until polling closes in WA. Here we go. So we have got I've just muted them just so that because there's a lot of background noise there. So I'm not sure if I should leave them on the screen though or not. I don't know. Anyway, so updates. Indi, we've got 15% of just under 15% of the vote has been counted, and it looks as though there is a 1% swing. Towards James, who is the Liberal Party candidate, but the incumbent, who is Helen Haines, is holding on to that one, which is pretty good. And yeah, it does look as though the swing towards the Greens has gone down a little bit there too, which does look, I mean, it makes sense. If you've got an independent who's doing a good job, they are going to end up taking quite a lot of that vote, aren't they? Now, earlier someone was asking a question. Earlier I did see someone in the chat ask a question about how these independents were getting so much money. Now, there is in one in particular, there is a billionaire who is funding a lot of independent campaigns, especially those who are focused on a climate-friendly future. So it's Climate 2020 is the project, and they are sponsoring a lot of these independent campaigns, just to answer that question from a little bit earlier. Matthew, give me a thumbs up if you're comfortable with me popping you up on the screen. I just don't want to do anyone before they're ready. Matthew McMillan, if you're comfortable, happy. No, doesn't know I'm talking to them. Maybe. Can't hear me, maybe. Hello? Okay.
My partner does. Rachel.
There we go. How you going? Drew!
Yeah, we're here.
Hey, we're here. Oh, nope, they're gone. They lied. They weren't ever really here. All right, we're going to keep going through our seats where we're looking at. All right, so Deakin. Let's check in with Deakin, guys, and see how Deakin's going. All right. So, Matt Gregg is looking like he is going to gain that seat of Deakin from the Liberal Party MP. That is looks like it's going to swing the Libs' way. There is an almost 5% swing away. Gosh almighty, that's an almost 5% swing away from them in that electorate there. Oh, Matthew is back. Hello.
Hi. We're back. We've got you
We're
now.
doing Yeah, we got you. So we're doing a little bit of our wraparound of the key seats there that it's projected to go to the Labor Party member Matt Gregg, which is fantastic. I mean, anytime the Libs are losing a seat, I'm happy. But anyway, the next seat. Where would you guys like us to check? Actually, well, since you've just jumped in here, where are we checking for you guys?
Oh, let's have a look at Adelaide if you can find it.
Adelaide.
Yeah. Let's see if there's any progress there yet.
Adelaide. 0.0% counted.
Perfect.
Okay. Not yet. I'll put it on the list though. We'll get to it eventually. Don't worry. We haven't even got the polls closed yet over here. So
Probably won't be dramatic, but it might be a good result for us. Yeah.
Ooh, here's fingers crossed. All right, Calwell. We're going to go and check on Calwell. Let's see how Calwell's doing. The count has started, but it is way too early for any meaningful result in Calwell. All right. So we're gonna hold off on Calwell for a bit. That's exciting though. Oxley.
Yeah.
Ooh. That is a massive margin.
Yeah, yes, it is. Wow.
That is a star. I want a margin like that.
That'd be nice.
Gosh, wouldn't that be nice? Never worry about job security again with margins like those. Jesus. All right. Next, Oxley, you're going to the ALP. We're not looking at you again. You win. ALP done. No point. We know where that's going. All right. Dunkley. Let's have a look at Dunkley, ladies. Oh, okay. So it's ALP have gained a little bit in this one as well. I'm going to have a look in more details and see. It was already held by the ALP. Yep, and it does look as though Fusion has gained 0.7% of the vote in that seat so far.
Woo!
Yay!
Fantastic.
We'll take our
Swing up.
gains.
All about the gains.
All about the gains. We know what's important. There we go.
Probably our smallest presence, so not bad.
Not at all. Not at all. We'll take what we can get, and we will probably get upset, but later in our bedrooms when no one's watching. Lynn, here we go.
Do we need to introduce Bindi to the camera at this point? Because she's here.
Bindi, would you like to get on TV?
Puppy.
She's gorgeous.
She may interrupt periodically.
Yeah,
Love it.
democracy dog.
It's almost better than democracy sausage.
So Lynn is actually showing, unfortunately, it had a 15.5% gain by the independent there, which has been a really interesting result. But it does look as though those preferences are probably heading, I don't know, the ALP's way. Why? No, there's a swing toward Labor. They must be counting on the flow from the independent for that gain. Interesting. But yeah, that one's definitely going to the Nationals. Bye. We could probably... I mean, obviously Anthony Green's not counting it, so I'm not going to. Let's be honest. I'm not that arrogant. Thanks, Brian. We appreciate it.
Sometimes.
Is there anybody else in the chat who wants us to check their home turf as well? Feel free to let us know. We will. We're doing a wraparound and checking lots of different electorates. 3 minutes until polls close in WA. 3 minutes until polls close. To be honest, I'm just excited that we haven't already called the election, because usually in Western Australia, we've already called the election when I'm going to vote. So...
Yeah, just Western state things. I mean, you know.
It looks pretty sad, but I think there's going to be a little bit more crossbench activity in the next term.
Yes,
I think
definitely.
Labor's going to win, but they're going to lose a handful of seats probably to crossbenchers. That's the way I see things playing out.
If seats get lost,
But
they're going to be lost.
I'm not a political expert, so that's just my my personal opinion.
Vibes are what most political experts go based on. So, you know what? I don't stress it. It's all vibes. So, Indy, yeah, it's previously going to be held by the Independent by a margin of 8.9%, and it looks as though she's going to gain a couple of percent on that margin, which is great. We like seeing that. Now, the next one we were up to Bowman. Should we check Bowman?
Yeah, let's check Bowman.
Let's check Bowman. All right. Let's see what we've got. Oh, this one looks like it's going to be close. I mean, it's a huge swing towards the ALP by the looks of it, but it looks like it's going to be a tight race.
Yeah, that'll be
Gosh
decided by
almighty.
preferences.
That will be decided by preferences. There's actually a lot on here that are going to be decided by preferences. So I'm going to put a star next to that one because that'll be a nice one to watch. Now, I know that we already looked at it, but I just want to go back and look at Dixon again for the funds. Do you guys want to look at Dixon for the fun of it?
Yeah.
It's so fun.
Well,
just gonna
Dutton losing seats. Yes.
He already has. Yeah, he's already lost it.
Wait, what?
Yeah,
I
Dutton's
mean,
lost his seat.
he was only plus
Ding Dong Witch is dead.
Dixon's lost
Really?
his seat. Yeah, Dixon's lost it. Dutton has had a swing of negative 11%. Dutton's gone, boys. Dutton's gone.
Yeah, he's actually lost his
My
seat.
God.
Yeah.
Dutton's gone.
Okay.
Dutton's gone.
Maybe he didn't portray himself as an emotional and caring man.
I have to show you guys this because I did this. This was my bingo card for 2025. And on here, I had a leadership spill bonus points if Dutton loses his seat. That is,
Maybe going on holiday during like bushfires and flooding wasn't the best idea.
putting up a GoFundMe when there were bushfires. Polling is now closed in WA, guys. Polling is now closed in Western Australia. We're done.
We're watching the live feed. Yeah.
I reckon next disaster that rolls around, Albo should rock up to Parliament in a Hawaiian shirt and be like, "This isn't Hawaii."
Oh no, what did I just do? I just made an accident. I didn't mean to do that. I accidentally clicked off the live. All right, we're going to switch over to ABC quickly because Anthony Green's on there. We're just going to listen to him for a minute because I've got to run to the loo. Are we all good with that?
Projecting to the Labor Party on about 54.8, which is about 0.7 lower than the projection I had earlier. That's because that count I'm using is much
All right, I'm going to run to the loo. I'll be right back.
We'll
Thank you so much, Kathleen. Where are you running again? Put your seat in there. We're going to look it up. Oh, we did look it up earlier, but we can look it up again.
But yeah, there's nothing that I'm seeing on other sources of figures that are suggesting anything other than the picture we were painting earlier, though it is still patchy.
All right. Yes, okay. Other
Dutton lost his seat. I'm so excited. I can't.
Right now,
But
anyway,
can I just check?
those numbers come back?
We did see Franklin come back a bit for Labor, so that's...
Yes, yeah, and look, it's
Okay, I'm running to
that's
the loo. I'll be
looking a
right
little
back.
better for Labor. I don't know if the seat of Bean in the ACT's come back at all for Labor based on those early numbers.
No, it was. It got to a higher count and was still looking like a really significant swing towards the independent there. On more than 5% counted, significantly more. I mean, I think there's a possibility here, allowing for the buffering that's going on around us, for there to be a significant new entrance of independents.
Yeah, sure. Andy.
The Labor Party's on 30. I don't know the percentage counted because the Electoral Commission no longer publishes percentage counted on their website for reasons to do with, it's a long story. The Labor Party's on 37%, Peter George is on 24%, and the Liberal Party's on 17%, and that's with 27,000 votes counted, which would be about a third of the vote.
All right, we're back in Tasmania now.
Yeah. Yes.
So at this stage, on those numbers, if that trend continues, Labor would hold Franklin. The Electoral Commission stopped counting preferences in that electorate because they believe that Peter George will be one of the final pairing. But on the numbers, primary votes I'm looking here at the moment, he's not good enough to win because the Liberal Party did issue a how-to-vote card indicating preferences to the Labor Party.
Anthony, can I just ask you about that seat in Brisbane, the seat of Ryan that we were asking Adam Bant about earlier, but does it look like the Libs have pushed themselves into second position there?
You'll have to give me a moment because I have to sort of navigate the Electoral Commission's website for the moment. At the moment, in that seat, the Greens are on 31, Labor's on 30, and the LNP's on 29. It's a three-way tie between those candidates at the moment. So it would come down to who finishes third.
Yeah, okay. Well, and that's been the interesting thing in Brisbane based on the earlier numbers that we had. It's that LNP dropping into third, which is going to knock the Greens out of contention.
Yeah, I thought they'd bounced up to second, but let's wait and
That
see.
will be a devastating result for the Greens. They've put a lot of resources into those seats, and it's been part of their longer-term strategy to try and get more lower house seats. So
this is one of the vagaries of these preferential three-way situations. Sometimes the position to be in is to be number two when the party that's being eliminated is going to support you more than the number one, right? That's the come from behind
Can you
situation.
set that one to music?
I could give it a naughty...
We're just going to switch to this one now because I don't know what they're even talking about. Sorry. Hi, we're back. How are we going? One thing I always find interesting is how the major parties gathering is so full of emotions while minor parties are more relaxed. Kind of like the Olympics gold versus silver. Yeah, that is very, very true. I was going to say, even like going to the Greens events and stuff, people weren't even really watching the election results at the Greens parties when we were having their finalised parties. Because it's just like we've had all of this effort, we've done all of this election stuff. Now it's like, oh, we just want to rest and relax and have a drink. But also the results are usually in pretty early in the evening for us in WA. Like by 7 o'clock in the evening, we know what the results are. So we can just sit around and drink and chat. You guys have to wait a lot later. It's already 8 o'clock over there and we still haven't got the results. But for us, you know, it's still early in the evening. So it's a very, very different sort of situation. So I'm just going to jump over to this. No one's here at the moment. So I'm going to go... that's not the right one either. Okay. That's fine. No. There we go. That was the one I was looking for. That was what I was looking for. Still don't know why the live chat thing at the side there is not working, but that's okay. All right. Other electorates that we had to finish going through. Let's go through some other electorates, okay? So, Wills. We did Bowman, we did Dixon, Point Cook. Point Cook was the next one. What? How is there... Do I not know how to spell Cook? All right, what electorate? What electorate should I look up? What postcode should I look up? Gosh almighty. And then let's have a look at Wills in Victoria quickly. Peter lost his seat. Yeah. So Wills, it does look as though there was a swing towards the ALP in this election, but the Greens did gain a 3.6%. So this one might actually come down. This one could be interesting. Owen on this one, I just have to look again. Owen, we're going to look later. That's right. We said we're going to look later. That's why I had that one down there. So we'll wait till Owen. Point Cook 3030. All right, let's look up Point Cook. Not sure why that wasn't coming up for me. Let's have a look. If there's anywhere else that you guys want me to have a look at, chuck it down in the chat. There we are. Is it Hawke? Is that your electorate? Hawke? Whoopsies. The electorate that you're in. What party is coming first? The Labor Party. Labor Party is in the lead. So far sitting on 29 seats. $89 seats still in doubt. 6 going to other parties and things. So, Hawke, in the Hawke electorate, it is 0.1% swing toward the ALP. So, very, very early, but it does look as though it is heading towards the ALP. Now that we have been closed for 8 minutes, 8 whole minutes, I want to have a quick look and see if there are any Western Australian seats that have been put up yet. You ready? So, where am I? How about Sunshine? Let's have a look. Okay, what electorate are you actually in, though? 3020. Fraser. You're in Fraser. I'll put Fraser on the list to check as well. So Fraser has had a big swing towards the ALP by the look of it. Doesn't look like there's much to worry about there in terms of the gains from the ALP. So there's been it looks like there's been a really good, strong Greens campaign there as well, though. There has been a swing toward the Green, which is good. Good to see. All right. Here we go. We got some people coming back. Hello? Hello!
Hello,
I'm just going to have...
What is this
Hello.
grand now?
That's what I paid for. Did you miss us again?
What?
I paid full rent for it.
Oh,
Ooh. All right. I'm having a quick look at the party totals again in the background here. Still doing okay. Still holding our own. How are you guys doing with the celebrating?
We're working on it.
Working on it. Okay. Let's have a look
I'm
at
trying.
Brisbane. Now, it does look as though Brisbane is going to be safe. So it was right here, actually. I was just looking at Brisbane. There it is. Yep, so the Greens are ahead. Max, Stephen is safe in Brisbane. It looks like It looks like there was a swing towards the LNP, though, but not enough for Stephen to lose his seat. Ooh, hang on a second. Hang on a second. This might not go to the Greens. This might end up going to Labor. Not even might. I think this is going to Labor. This is a 7% swing toward Labor. They put a lot of work into taking that seat back, I would say. But look at Rachel. Look at Rachel. 1.3% of the vote. That is fantastic. Good work. That is a 1.3% gain in the vote. Now, let's go back. Oh, hang on. Oh, shit. Sorry, I was trying to flick over to Anthony Green. Anthony Green was just giving election breakdown. Why didn't the ABC say Peter's lost his seat yet? Because it's based on preference. It's based on projections. It's not confirmed. We have to wait a bit longer before it's confirmed. But based on projections, Peter Dutton has lost his seat, which is very exciting. And we're just going to hold on to that energy throughout this whole night. Now, party totals. Now, where was I going? I was doing something and I forgot where I was going. There we go. Griffith, that's where he's running. I always forget that seat. The ALP's ahead. Gosh almighty, that's not a good one, is it? Oh, they have had an 8% gain in the vote, the Labor Party. Oh, interesting. Interesting. Max from the Greens is not safe. None of the Greens are safe by the looks of it. It actually looks as though, I mean, obviously we shouldn't count our ducks. We've only got 7% of the vote counted, okay? So we're not getting too excited, but yeah, it's not looking the greatest. Okay. Fun times. It's always disappointing to lose any progressive people from any office. It would be very disappointing if we lost any progressive members of parliament, regardless. Doesn't matter. You know, I can see who can I see in the background? I can see. There you are. Yes. Yeah, that is not a good look at the moment, is it?
Obviously fairly dubious, but you know the thing with good campaign directors.
Well, you know,
but unfair. And
we're getting comfortable.
He's a very good campaign director. Because I think it is
based on the current count and ABC projection, it's going to go to the Labor Party. Oh well, I didn't see that coming, to be honest. If someone had asked me at the beginning of the day. Now let's go to Western Australia quickly. Location. WA. No votes. No votes. No votes. No votes. No votes. Well, the polls have only been closed for 15 minutes. So we'll give them some time. Yeah, so for anyone who's not aware, the Senate result won't come in tonight. Very likely, especially if you voted below the line, those votes won't be counted. No, they won't even be counting the Senate. The Senate result won't even be known for like a week. And no, I will not be. I was the number 2 candidate on the Senate, so that's not happening. But who knows? Maybe Tian will. We'll wait and see if Tian will be a new senator tomorrow. We'll see. Are there any other senators from over east who are hoping to get elected this election? Here we go. I can't hear you guys if anybody is trying to chat. Just FYI. Just in case anyone was. Not pressuring anyone to come on and chat with me, but if they were.
No, we're happy to chat. I mean, we're just trying to.
We're trying to save you from all the chat in the background.
Yeah.
No, you're all right. You're all right. We're having some interesting results, though, aren't we?
Absolutely. I'm keen to see a few more independents and Greens get in.
Yeah. I would like that. It's actually I'm not liking the fact that we're not really seeing any. I'm going to have a look at Melbourne quickly. Let's see if maybe even bloody Bant's going to lose his seat. Who knows? Let's have a look. I don't see how, but stop biting me, dog. My dog is biting me.
Nothing in Melbourne yet.
Nothing in Melbourne. All right.
Nothing in Adelaide. Nothing anywhere.
Anyone watching in the chat who has an electorate they want us to check in on, let us know. We'll do that. In the meantime, I'm going to have some medicine because the nausea. In case anyone doesn't know, before Mayo electorate. Sorry, Tom. Sorry. What's the electorate for Mayo? What's your postcode? Don't bite me. Sorry, that dog keeps biting me. And it's very painful. Hey, kiddos, do you want to get your dog out of here, please? 5214. All right, let's check 5214. So for anyone who is going to judge me for doing my medicine that I'm about to do, I have cancer. Just FYI. 5214. There it is. Why wouldn't it come up earlier? Oh! Are you kidding? 3.5% swing. Far out. That's good. Oh, no. It actually looks as though it swung away from it. See, this is what I don't like. It makes me hopeful that we're seeing swings, and then I go in there and it's like, no, actually, we're not.
Yeah, look, Sharky's been really popular for years, but I think her campaign was a bit more reliant on volunteers and honestly an older demographic than what
She
might have
also
been.
came out 4.5 weeks ago and said that if there was a hung parliament, she would call Dutton first.
Oh yeah, that's going to
Yeah.
lose her the seat. That's going to
Yeah.
lose you the election.
Because most of her electorate were Labor voters, but they're like, oh, actually, we've got someone better, and now
They found out they're not so much better. Yeah. All right.
joining the potato.
Thank you so much, Antonio. I appreciate that. Wishing us well over here. No, we aren't able to, unfortunately, Brian, aren't able to filter for how fusion votes are affecting it. But we are able to keep an eye on the fusion votes and see how many votes we're getting, which is fun. All right. Let's.
I mean, votes as preferences from the Teal Independent. I'd have to go and have a look.
Okay. Do either of you have any? You've got some intel on that.
They're having a bit of a chat.
The AEC page for Dixon up currently showing projected two-candidate preferred at 57% to Labor.
Yeah! They're talking about Peter Dutton losing his seat.
It doesn't say, but it's looking at this stage a 9.57% swing in that seat, which makes us Canada, if that's what's happening.
Sorry, Laura, did you say there was
43%?
43% of the vote counted in Dixon.
So James McGrath,
43% of the vote is counted in Dixon.
Will be in Parliament.
Yes. Let's wait for
What gives you that confidence right now?
Getting all the pre-poll figures in. Let's wait for them all to come in. And as I've said, I think several times tonight, Dixon is always a tight seat.
No, it's not.
Peter has held it by less than 100 votes after the 2007 election. Peter will be there. A number
In the
of seats,
2007, not the
Labour's or the Teals, we will not know the results of tonight.
You think the
We will have
pre-polls
to-
will be good enough to reverse a 9% swing?
Wow.
Okay.
I think so.
Has that happened before, ever?
We noticed that pre-poll was particularly good in Queensland for us.
Jim Chalmers, just on that seat of Dixon, you were cautious earlier. What do you think now?
Oh, look, I'm still cautious, but that's a hell of a swing, and it's a big
I
chunk of
predict it.
votes that have been
I
counted.
predict that Dixon's gonna. I predict he's
So
gonna lose
Ali
his seat.
France and her amazing campaign team would be feeling encouraged, but I don't think anyone thinks we're home and hosed yet. If you look at another Queensland seat, which I've been following very closely, it's my neighbour, the seat of Bonner.
I'm just going to share this tab instead. We're just going to click off ABC so that we guys can have a chat between ourselves about what's going on. How are we?
You all right there?
Yeah, sorry. I'm just feeling a bit nauseous. I'm going to do my medicine just off screen. Give me a second. It's, sorry. Nausea hits you like a Mack truck sometimes, and it's just like, can't breathe. So, this is Dixon. It says 6% of the vote has counted. ABC said it was like 49% of the vote was counted. That's clearly not correct. I don't know. Yeah, 4% of the votes have been informal as well, which I do see that number getting bigger. I do see. 43% of the vote is counted on ABC. He's lost his seat. How he has lost his seat. I'm sorry, but you cannot imagine that he's keeping that seat. Come on. Oh.
Not even by the seat of his pants.
No. No. Let's like. I just feel like we can all go to bed happy now tonight. I mean, obviously not. We want some better results than that, but at least we got one bit of good news.
I really thought it was going to be close for his seat, but it's not looking like it.
No. All right. What other results should we check out now, guys? Oh, we're looking at Mayo, won't we? We were. We did look at Mayo quickly. What else are we
We did
looking
look
at?
at Mayo. What about Hindmarsh? Or
Hindmarsh.
Macon?
Hindmarsh. 0.0% counted.
Clipsicle. Has anyone looked at Hunter? Oh, Hunter,
Hunter?
yes.
Hunter. Let's have a look at Hunter.
This
This is my
could be the
favourite thing to
drama.
do. Election night. This is what
Brace
I do
yourself,
every election. Brace ourselves. We're bracing ourselves. Ooh.
What?
6% swing to the ALP. I mean, it was already held by then, but they're getting. Let's go into it and look at details, though, because we always know the details.
Yeah,
trip us up.
detail.
Details.
Yeah, that was
That's
the
a swing
scary
towards
part.
the Labor Party there. Yep.
No, the swing to One Nation was the horrifying bit.
Oh fuck.
Yeah.
Oh fuck. I was looking down here for One Nation. Oh fuck.
This is the one to keep an eye on.
Oh fuck. That's yuck.
Mm.
Oh, Anthony Green's got something important for us.
Everything I'm seeing
Oh, that does sound important.
is bad for
Anthony Green's calling it.
Yeah.
Is that they've just gone backwards everywhere. I can't see. It is bad news everywhere for them. There's seats all over the country, all over the eastern states. They're losing and they're behind in. No, they need to get 19 seats for majority government. They need to gain 10 seats for Labor. They're currently in the process of losing 12 to 15.
Yep.
The trend is all the wrong way. And I am a bit limited in the amount of data I can see at the moment, but it is impossible to see how this turns around. This isn't necessary. I mean, at the moment, it's a bit hard to work this out. Let's just say that. I can't see how the coalition wins from here.
Woo!
Does that mean the Albanese government is won? Well, yes, it's a binary contest. Have they got majority or minority? On these figures, they are going to have a substantially increased
So you are
Oh,
categorically
fuck.
ruling out anything other than a minority or majority government for Anthony Albanese tonight.
Probably. I'm a bit hindered. Look, I can't see how the coalition gets into government from the numbers we're seeing at the moment. Therefore, the coalition can't form government. Therefore, Labor will form government in the next parliament. So you're helping me form my words by asking
You heard
questions.
what James McGrath said.
Yeah,
he thinks the pre-poll is going to perform a
So hang on,
miracle.
just to be clear, you're saying Labor has won either in a minority or a majority government.
For pre-poll to turn around from here, they'd have to have a lot of loaves and fishes, I think. It's a big swing.
I love Anthony Green. I'm so sad this is going to be his last election.
Limited by the numbers,
I'm
but
so
it's
sad this is
just,
going to be his last election.
This could be a big win for Labor, but it's certainly a win.
It's certainly
Yeah.
a win for Labor. I think we can
Okay.
take that as Anthony calling it as a win of some
Yeah.
sort for Labor.
Okay, we're going to clip off of Anthony Green. By the way, guys, that is why sometimes I go quiet, because I'm in the back of my ear. I'm listening to Anthony Green and what results he's calling, so I can jump in if there's any seats that we might want to have a look at quickly. If there's anything interesting happening. It does look as though it's going to be a majority ALP government, which is not my favourite option, but it is better than, you know. All right, let's have a quick look. So, yes, there's been, across the board, there's been a drop out of the vote for the coalition. There's been a swing of negative 3.3%. Now, Labor have also had a drop of negative 2.4%. And, yeah, the other, like, it's literally it's all being picked up by independents. Let's have a look at all the parties and see where we are on this one. One Nation, unfortunately, getting a percentage of the vote, which makes me feel yuck inside. I want us to be up here. Let's go. Here we go. 0.1%. We're getting there. All right. Yes, I do just want to let everybody know that any of the calls and things that we're making now, we do understand that seats and things can still change hands. We do know that the makeup of the Senate is not even, we haven't even begun to look at that. Sorry, just knocked my microphone. We do know that this is all just speculative, and this is all literally just estimates, and, you know, but yeah, it's, come on, like, Anthony Green just called it for Labor based on these same stats. So I don't think we can, we should dismiss all of them. But yeah, I can see. Anyway. All right. I want to have a quick look now at where should we look next? Do you think Greens are struggling because they're too progressive or not enough? Not enough. Not enough, but I think what I actually think it is, okay, I'm going to be honest with you what I actually think the Greens' problem is, if I'm giving you my unfiltered opinion on what their big issue is. The problem with the Greens is that they're too busy trying to fill two roles. They're trying to stand in two places at once, and while they're doing that, standing in two places at once, they are always going to have issues. What the Greens should do, if the Greens want to improve their vote at the next election, what they need is to help a further left-wing, more radical party of protest become more established, who can be the radicals out there doing all the loud, noisy stuff, because the Greens are busy over here trying to convince everyone that they are serious politicians now. But while they're also running around also saying that they're the party of protest, they're always going to have those people who are, they're always going to be splitting. They're always going to have the people who wax and wane and come and go, because they're people who want a serious political party will jump on, then they'll see all the protests and be turned off. And then you have the people who want all of the protests and then see all the serious politicking and they need to just try and fill the one role and have someone who is more extreme on the further left filling that role of the party of protest. Yeah, ABC's already called it for Albo. Yes, we did. We were discussing that. Yes. They also might want to make an effort. Yeah, look. Sometimes the effort they put in isn't the best. Isn't necessarily. So, only 29 of the seats have been called, but in saying that, you can see down here, obviously, that their ALP are ahead. ALP ahead, ALP ahead, ALP ahead. Yeah, Dixon seat predictions. Yes, Labor won. Labor did win. Labor did win. Yes, correct. There we go. So the election result has been called, and it was half an hour after the polls closed in WA, which, I'm not going to lie, it was really nice to be able to get home after the polls closed and have the election not already, called on us. So I'm just going to look up WA and see if there's anything for WA yet. No, still nothing for WA. Let's look at Fremantle in Perth. Fremantle, 0% of the vote counted. All right, we're not going to bother looking anywhere else, because it doesn't look like anything's... What's that? O'Connor, no votes. Oh, this is what... Labor, Liberal, Trumpet of Patriots, Nationals, legalise cannabis, good to see you here. One Nation, Australian Christians. Why all of the racists? Why so many racists? I have COVID in my eyes. Steve, no! Nothing for WA yet. I've been checking. Thanks, James. Checking for me. Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And Tom, I completely get it. Like I love the problem isn't their policies and things necessarily. The problem is the way that they're packaging them. They're still trying to communicate that they're the party of energy and the party of young people, and yet I know, for example, in Western Australia, all of the young organisers have just been pushed out of the party by the old rusted-ons, So. There were just a smorgasbord of racist options in the election this year, weren't there? It was absolutely fucking disgusting. But any hoozles. Let's go back to the live results and see. I want to check in on Bean, because this is one we checked earlier. It's still being held by the Independent based on preferences. That's really interesting. That was really interesting. Labor majority or minority? Anthony Green isn't sure yet, but he's just calling that they're going to win. But he's not willing to call whether it's going to be a minority or majority. If the numbers hold, it will be a majority. But I think when we get pre-polling, we're going to see a lot more votes for independents and smaller parties in the early voting. Yep. It's showing a swing against the ALP to lose in, yeah. They are looking, it is looking like they have got it at the moment, but it is looking like it will swing that way based on preferences. Bean is a great electorate name. I didn't vote. What was the ballot like? Mine would have been different from yours, Amy, because I'm on the other side of the country. So my state's ballot was, you know, yay big. Just a bit bigger than A3, I'd say. All right. Let's jump over, oh gosh. I'm going to have to jump over to... Do you guys want to jump on and chat or anything? I'm going to, hey, I'm just going to put ABC on quickly while thingy's on.
31.
What's his name?
Greens 12.9.
Anthony.
Others are 11.8. The change in primary vote that's occurring, 2.7, 4.6 down for the coalition.
mate, and last
the
time at
two-party
the
preferred
election-
swing is 3.9%. Now remember this. I was saying that that's a projection. The current figure is 57.6. We're projecting it will come down to 56.
Still
now, if the
huge.
coalition do better on pre-poll, it might come down to 55. It may get down to 54, but it's not going to get down to 53 or 52 on those numbers. So this is has all the potential to be a substantial victory for the Labor Party. And what I'll do is I'll draw the chat. Look, it is 20%, so I won't go too far into this. But we're pretty confident that Labor is definitely one. We've got the 176. That was the first time I've looked at it, I must admit, for a while.
That's it.
Majority for
That's
those
the
running
number.
at home.
So look, just because we haven't looked at these figures for a while, that's a pretty. I mean, as I said a few minutes ago when I didn't have the figures right in front of me, the Labor the coalition is not winning from there. They're not winning from 34 seats at this stage when the Labor's ahead in 76. Say you turned around 15 seats, that still gets the coalition to 50, 50 maybe 60, but you know that's a long way behind at this stage. Again, we'll say 22.8. Let's look at that primary vote again at the moment. It's been pretty stable like that for a while. Those numbers will start to shift. If you remember the Queensland election, they were pretty sort of level pegging or labels slightly behind before they moved. At this stage, Labor's substantially ahead before that shift occurs.
That would be the lowest coalition primary vote ever.
Yes.
It may come up a little.
That makes sense.
Once the pre-poll comes in.
Lowest primary vote.
This is changing.
Ever.
I haven't been through every one of these seats to double check. But we've got Banks where the Labor Party's ahead, Bass, Independents gaining Bean. I haven't looked at the numbers there, but Labor's holding Bennelong, winning Bennelong, gaining Bonner, Braddon, Brisbane. There's a whole page there. It's all red.
So you're knocking out David Coleman, the shadow foreign minister, gone. Bridget Archer in Bass as well.
Michael Sukkar.
Michael Sukkar.
That's because you haven't looked.
No.
They are struggling to hold on. And if they're struggling to hold the seats they hold, they're not winning the election.
Yeah, and they're losing. They're losing both front benches, but also emerging talent, as well as perhaps their leader as well.
Yes.
But Jim Chalmers, just back to you for a moment, because you started talking about the tribute that you wanted to pay to the Prime Minister a month before the campaign.
What are you
He
doing?
put healthcare at the centre of the campaign to come. He put women
No,
at
you're
the
just
centre
gonna
of
tell
the
each other
campaign
until
to
it's
come.
finished, and you're
How
gonna stop
important a
directing
decision
people
was
what to
that in
do.
this result?
Yeah, and the cost of living. You know, we decided that to win the election, we would go through that rather than around that, the cost of living. I think the biggest reason for our what looks like a very good result
Oh,
tonight
gosh,
is
sorry.
Anthony's leadership. I think second.
Unmuted and now
is that
muted.
we,
I keep, yelling over the
won
top of it.
argument over
Sorry.
the economy, particularly the cost of living. And I think those two things together are responsible for this outcome tonight. Again, not wanting to dance on anybody's political grave, but clearly the leadership contest, the one-on-one leadership contest in what is a relatively presidential system, was decisive. And if you
I
look
am
at
so
all of
sorry,
those
guys.
polls,
I would love,
the opposition
I would love
leaders'
nothing
numbers
more than to
tracked
sit
down
on here all
substantially
night
over
going over the election results. But I think my children might actually kill each other if I do that. I will say I do think it's interesting that he's calling 3 seats for the Greens when we just looked at their results and it didn't look like it was going so well. Where do we think those seats are coming from? Where do we think though? Like, where is this breakdown coming from? I'm not seeing it. Here we go. So I'm just going to go switch over to the Guardian's coverage for a bit so we can have a look and see what they're showing us. Yeah, I'm going to have to jump off. It's only 6:30 at night. I thought I had a bit longer before they lost their minds, but I don't think... Put her outside, guys, if she's bothering you. All right, we're going to jump into Wills for a bit, I think, and have a look. Yeah, go be mum. Yeah, I think I'm going to have to. I think I'm actually going to have to. I'm going to sign off of TikTok first of all. Yeah, I'm going to sign off TikTok. Muted us. Yeah, I did. I'm sorry. I got to go. My kids are losing their shit. Bye. Now, here we go. How is everybody? How are we all going? We can do the election wrap up while the kids are at school. Yeah, when are they going to be at school again? The day after tomorrow. Yeah. I'm just going to see if these guys want to keep going with this live or not. Let me see what they're doing. Woo! Hey, so lovely people. Do you guys want to keep going? Owen, people, let's jump over and see what Anthony Green's saying
Now, this is
while they
basically
decide.
nearly all of the on-the-day votes. Labor's ahead on 34. Peter Dutton's on 30. The Independent, Ellie Smith, is on 13. The Greens are on 8.6. Now, we haven't got as many preference counts in, and I'll just show that. It's a 9.2% swing. I took the preferences that we've got from those 23 polling places, applied it to the larger number that we got primaries for.
Okay.
And it turns out that the swing is about 10% still. There is about 70% of preferences flowing to the Labor Party. I think that Independent, every time
He's
you get
lost his
Independent, we
seat.
get this strong flow of preferences. But at this stage, we're saying that that Ali France at her third attempt should go on to win that seat, and Peter Dutton is I'm naturally cautious, almost certain to lose. But we've called it. We believe that Ali France will win Dixon.
All right, there you go. Anthony
Losing
Green
it
called
slowly,
James McGrath,
so
a massive
slowly.
repudiation of the leader. Your response?
I'm just waiting to see back from these guys if they actually want to
Let's
take over
wait
the
for
live or
figures to
not.
come in. We respect Anthony Green. The seat of Dixon is a tough seat. It's always been
Oh,
a tough
give
seat.
up. It's
As
gone.
Anthony
He's
Green
lost
said,
it.
This is on the day figures. We need to get the pre-poll figures.
It's a repudiation nonetheless.
But this seat's always been a very tough seat for Peter Dutton and for the Liberal National Party and the former Liberal Party.
But
Remember that he did hold it by less than
McGrath,
100 votes before the 2007 election.
You know politics. This is your life. This is your career. You're a master of reading numbers. you look at those numbers and you honestly.
Them trying to
think
still be
Peter Dutton
positive.
still
Them trying to still be like, there's a chance.
tough.
Can I just say, if you have to
gonna be
start
very tough.
mathematically working
But
out
what
if you
I've
could
learned
win or
in
not, you've
politics
lost. Give it
is
up. My
wait
dad
till
does
the
this
numbers come
every
in
season, every single year around,
Consumers pointed this out,
as soon
and
as the
other people
ninth gets
pointed out,
called, he
we've
starts
got to
trying to
wait
work
till the
out
numbers come in.
mathematically if the Tigers
It'll be
might
really
still
tough
finish
for
up in the
Peter Dutton.
eighth, in
It'll
the
be
top
tough for us
eight.
to hold a number of
Every year, he
seats,
starts
ending a
working
number
out
of
his
seats.
mathematics to
Like
see
Bracefield, for
toward the end of the
example,
footy
that before
season if the
everyone
Tigers could
was
still maybe
saying
make
it's
it.
basically gone to-
And as soon
to
as he does, I
Hill,
say,
I'm
Dad, if
pretty
you have
sure
to do
it's
maths,
coming back to us.
they're not going to make
So
it.
let's just
If you've
wait
got to do
for
maths,
the figures
they've
to come
lost.
in
Give up.
This week and next week, and before we get a final count of where the numbers are at. But it's not a great night for the party. So I admit that.
James, you're in Queensland, your house is on fire. You're defending Longman, Leichhardt, Ford, Dixon, Petrie, Bowman.
And what I'm
Bonner.
saying is wait for the sorry to interrupt. I'm waiting for the pre-poll figures to come in for these seats, and then we can have a frank discussion about where we ended up in Queensland. But it's not.
I respect you, but this is starting to sound a bit chemical.
It's not a great night for the party. But what I've learnt in politics, having worked on many losing and the odd winning campaign, is wait for the figures to come in.
I mean, you have a job to do tonight, but we know that if I were to lean over and grab your phone, it would not say, we've got to wait for the numbers to come in.
Well, at the moment, it's my mum saying that.
Don't forget the milk.
Yes, it's like.
You thought about
and I'm going back to the farm tomorrow, and I've got to collect chicken feed apparently.
Okay,
So
well, that's important.
life goes on.
Life goes on.
Look, what you're seeing is this was when Anthony called it, and the mood and the scene at Liberal headquarters. It's a little different to what we witnessed earlier from the Labor headquarters when that moment happened, as you can see there.
All right, I haven't heard back from anyone else. I haven't got any responses from anyone. Nobody has responded in the chat. None of these guys. Hi. Guys, I have to go. They're not responding.
We think we've won Bonner and we think we've won Bass.
So I'm just gonna wave bye and hope that they see that I'm saying I'm going. I don't know. Bye, Owen. See ya. I'm just gonna quickly jump in and don't bite. That's not nice. That was the dog. Sorry, not my kid. Hi.
Did you think?
How you going?
Sit here tonight and watch Peter Dutton lose his seat?
No. No, I thought we were a chance, and I thought Ailey France in particular.
Let me just quickly mute that.
But I thought it was 50-50 at best.
So,
What do you
hang
put
on.
it down to?
There we go. Sorry, I was just messaging and trying to message and let everyone know. The kids, my two children have just lost their minds. It's the witching hour, as we say, as it gets towards bedtime, dinner time. So I have to log off because they are literally going to kill each other if I leave this any longer. I've left it literally as long as I can. I'm shocked there isn't already blood on the floor. So is there any seats we wanted to check quickly before I log off, guys? Or did anyone want to take over the live stream? No? Quick check on WA? All right. Wills. Let's go look at Wills quickly. All right, let's look at Wills and then we'll have a quick check at WA and then we're going to log off. All right. Okay, this still hasn't updated on here, which is really annoying. I'm going to jump onto the AEC website because ABC, the Australian Electoral Commission, because ABC still hasn't updated theirs. Usually they're pretty good, but yeah, they're not doing great today. So let's have a look at the official results on the AEC. Look, it's not as pretty as you can see. It's not as pretty. Their particular page, and it's not as easy to navigate, but it is what it is. Oh my gosh, Wills popped up first thing. Excellent. So Wills, let's have a look. How are we going in Wills? We've got a whole percentage of the vote, 453 votes, a whole percent, which is a gain of 1%. Amazing.
I'm scared about this. Sorry, I won't be happy with 1%.
Oh no!
I'll be back in a bit. Okay.
Okay, no worries. I'm going to have to jump off soon. That's all. I'm just letting you guys know because the kids are ready to kill each other. Yes, Dutton lost his seat. We won't know how the Senate results are going for a few days, unfortunately. So we won't know if Geordie has got a Senate seat for a few days. But I would say based on the results that we are getting the swing towards the Socialists we are seeing in the lower house, I would say, yes, we are going to have Purple Pingers in Parliament for the next parliamentary sitting, which is absolutely incredible. We're not going to have any Dutton and we are going to have Pingers. We're going to have no Dutton, but we will have Purple Pingers. How fucking awesome is that? That's incredible. Thank you for all of your support, Tom, honestly. And thank you, Amy, Steve, Mary Jane, Lily, Convict Avoider, all of you, anyone who I haven't mentioned. I'm going through the list trying to see all my commenters. Winged Tiger, thank you so much. Appreciate you guys being here. Absolutely. That's the goal. Yes. The goal, I would love it if I could get elected next time, so it could be, me and the rest of them in there. But anyway, let's have let's leave it. Where were we going to go? We're going to go national results quickly. National results. There we go. We've got all of those seats going towards them. Let's have a look. I don't know. Honestly, too close to attribute. And the Greens, it looks like they're going to have 1 seat in Queensland and 2 in Victoria. Wow. Wow, the Greens are actually going backwards. That is disappointing. That is disappointing, isn't it? Oh, well. Let's have a quick look at our party representation, shall we? Well, we're going to have 10 independents. I love how they've got no one for WA yet. Literally, they can't. Too close to attribute in WA. They're the only seats that have been counted. What seats in WA have we looked? Have we even looked at? Oh, I'm too tired. I'm too tired. This is getting nuts. Hey, you would have gotten me to actually vote, Tam. Thanks. Just my stalker. Love you. Thank you. Thank you for being here. You can totally do it with TikTok and Insta, what Geordie's done. Yeah, and I think just with the community that we have, with the absolutely amazing supportive community, we will absolutely be able to do it. No one listens. Very, very few listen. I actually do have, I know you can't see it, but just off camera here, I have 2 young children sitting here staring at me. Really glaring is actually more the term I would use. So I am going to sign off now. Ed, did you have any final comments you wanted to give?
No, I think it's been an experience.
Yeah. Did you have fun this election?
Yeah, it's been good.
Do you think you'll run again?
I will. Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, definitely.
What was a highlight? What was a highlight for you of the campaign?
Yeah, not really sure. Sorry.
Fair enough. No worries. Put you on the spot. All right. We'll leave it there then. Thank you guys so much. Thank you all for being here. I had an amazing time with you. I will send your love to Mac and Cheese. I'm sure they'll appreciate it. Yep, they're sitting down there appreciating it. You guys have an amazing night. I am going to log off now. Thank you all so much for joining us. We're still under a Labor government. Not an awful lot has changed, but hopefully with the loss of Dutton and the gain of Geordie, we're going to see some positive changes for Australia in the future. So I'm losing my voice. This has been The Void. Thank you for another amazing election cycle, guys. Have a good one. See you later.
Yeah.